Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Great to be with you. Thanks for listening. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. Sometimes you miss things, and if that happens, you say, damn it, I missed it. And then you go, but that's okay because Jeff and Tom are cool, and they got people that post things for them. That's right, we do. Both the iTunes and in our own audio vault upon the conclusion of the show. Go find it. Email the program if you like, jcs at 979espnradio.com. You can find me on Twitter at jcameronshow. You can utilize the WTSM app. That's good for your mobile devices. Doesn't matter if that's an Android or an iPhone. Just download that free app and listen in whenever you like. Also, via that app, you can access the archived audio as well. So many ways. On Twitter, as I said, at Jay Cameron Show, but also at 979 ESPN Radio if you'd like to follow that for all important updates and the ability to Periscope. How about that?
How about it?
YouTubers are YouTubing right now on ESPN Tallahassee, and I say hello to you, YouTubers. I'm pumped, man. Willie Taggart and I sat down to talk this morning. That is the final check mark. I said that the speech that I give every year or the conversation that I have every year at the Sunrise Rotary is the final check mark. But it's not. It's the Pepsi coaches interview that I do. You see what I did there? It's the Pepsi coaches interview that I do. Thank you, Pepsi. That really signifies the start of the season. And today it was a great pleasure. I understand wins and losses will define the popularity level of Willie Taggart and the trust and investment in the program long term. But just in terms of sitting down and getting to know somebody in an off season, somebody new to the program, and getting a feel for what they're going to be like to work with, I can tell you, I'll give you a peek behind the curtain. It's just been a pleasure. He's just a good guy, man. I feel pretty safe in saying that. You know, I mean, we never know, really. Of course, you know, you'd like to believe that you can read the book by the cover in this case, but I don't know, of course. But all my interactions have just been really, really pleasant. He's just a normal guy. He's somebody that he's just relatable, you know. And this morning, I was sitting there waiting to talk to him. And we had a conversation off the air. You're going to hear my interview with Willie Taggart in about 10 minutes. And I got here early this morning, and I was kind of show prepping and interview prepping, and you and I were texting back and forth, and I was reading something, and the SID, Derek over there, does a great job, said, hey, Willie's going to be a few minutes after 8 this morning, so, you know, you got a little time hanging there. We haven't forgot about you or anything like that. And so I'm kind of prepping for that interview, and it occurs to me that even though I've talked to Willie Taggart, and I've had Willie Taggart on the show before, I've had him on this show, and I've had him on my SiriusXM show, this was the first one of the year. This is game week. This is a big damn deal. Now it's for real. It's not just, you know, speculative. Here we go. It's game week. And how many years I've been doing this, I got a little nostalgic. I did. I started thinking back to, God, I originally, way back when, I know this is hard to believe, kind of started doing coaches interviews when I would have Bowden on years and years ago. And then it was Jimbo Fisher, obviously, that I had on for every year that he was here. That includes the years in which he was just the offensive coordinator and head coach in waiting, and then later head coach. And now here I was about to interview the new head man. And I was going back through the seasons and the years and thinking about that. And I got nervous. I don't get all that nervous all that often. You do something long enough, you kind of have a tacit understanding as to how it works. And you get show butterflies just like everybody does. I'm sure if you speak for a living or you do anything where you give presentations and you've given thousands of them, no matter what, you still get a little nervous when you start. Once you get into the hang of it, you're good to go. And it's a good kind of butterflies is what I was thinking about. Like I was excited. And then I thought about what must he be thinking? You know, what must Willie Taggart be thinking? A guy who has said from the get-go that the Florida State job was his dream job, always has been. He You know, he used to dream big that this would be the thing, that someday he could be the head coach at Florida State University. He didn't get to play here. He wasn't big enough, didn't get recruited to Florida State, went to Western Kentucky instead. But he always dreamt that once he got in the coaching world that maybe someday he'd end up here. And then it happened. And you maybe don't have time to let that wash over you. Maybe you don't have time to think about that too much because you got a job to do. You got things you got to do. And he had to hit the ground running, right? Assemble, salvage something of this recruiting class and assemble a staff, and you couldn't just wallow in the glory of having gotten your dream job, you know?
He had to recruit a new class and salvage the one that was already on hand with a coaching staff that he was largely going to fire. That was really awkward, and yet they all seem to make it the most professional they possibly could.
I will tell you this, if this all works out well and he has a long tenure here and a lot of success, and we are to remember him fondly both for the on and off the field successes, one of the things that I think about will be those first moments of his coaching career at Florida State and how he was able to make that happen, how he was able to get something out of that recruiting class, salvage something, get some kids like Woodby and others to say yes, to put together a staff, etc. You'll look back at this period in time and think, man, what a whirlwind that was, and what an amazing time it was to cover the program and him and all of that, but also how instrumental it would be in any future successes. But anyhow, back to him for a second. I thought it must hit him this week. Coaches don't like to get too in the weeds with that kind of stuff and overly emotional because they just have too many tasks to do, to execute. And they have too many things on their mind to really sit around and think about the enormity of a singular moment of success or anything else. And you'll hear I ask him the question, though. You know, I mean, that's got to hit you, right? At some point, the butterflies that I was feeling before that interview, he has to feel this week, right? He's going to run out of that tunnel as the head coach of Florida State University in prime time at night with the nation watching for his first ever game.
Yes, he said something to that end when you asked him the question.
Yeah,
people are going to hear the answer.
Yeah, but it's cool. And then I brought all of that up to say this. The phone rang, and I picked it up, and as is tradition around here, I try to get a feel for the guests, any guests, especially the head coach at Florida State, for their mood, time constraints, anything they don't necessarily want to talk about for reasons of, say, health. You know, certain players don't want you to talk about their health, so I'm pretty careful that way. I don't want to ambush anybody. At the same time, I want to be able to ask questions, and he has said you can ask me anything. So he calls in, and I wished him a belated happy birthday. And then he says, it was a special birthday, Jeff. And he was in such a good mood. And he talked about his team and his family and the opportunity to hang out together. I don't think I'm giving away here anything. This wasn't something that he wanted to keep private. It was just he was laid back and a cool customer and just talking. You could tell with a smile on his face about what's about to happen come Monday night and then what just did happen with his birthday and what this week is and everything. And I immediately relaxed, and so did he, and we had a good talk. And it's the first of what will be, an interview every week for the football season. Now, there is an exception to that, and I should get this out of the way now, because of the oddity of scheduling to start the season, where we have a game on a Monday night that has messed with the schedule, and that's why the interview was today, because this is their Monday. And then a short turnaround for Samford. We're not doing that interview. You're just going to get post-game audio from Willie. He's not doing anything on Tuesday after the game. No media, nothing. It's just the game, post-game, and all you people can leave me alone. I got film to watch. I got a game plan to put in, and we got a short turnaround. I'm not doing anything. But after that, it's the normal schedule. I'll interview Willie Taggart every Monday morning on game weeks and be able to talk to him about the season as it unfolds. And that'll be a fun ride, man. It's not lost on me, I guess is what I'm getting at. How cool this is, how lucky we are to have this job, how much fun it is, and so far, so good. It seems like I'm going to be talking to a guy that's as well-adjusted as they come and who is well aware of the magnitude of the moment, but one who embraces it and is excited about it and can't wait to undertake a rather sizable responsibility, right? I mean, it's a big thing to do.
It's only the job he's wanted his entire life.
Later in the show, Andy Bitter from The Athletic, who covers Virginia Tech for them, will join us in the 5 o'clock hour. He's covered the Hokies now for 7 years. He'll join us. We'll get perspective from him, how camp's gone, the depth chart, all that stuff for Virginia Tech, their outlook on the upcoming game. Yeah, it's nearly here. But when we come back, it's the Pepsi coaches interview. It's me and Willie Taggart. That's next on the Jeff Cameron Show.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men on a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
What we do with quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Roofing is rewarding, but it's not exactly a bed of roses. It's a very dirty job, subject to the environment, working on 98-degree summer days, dodging rainstorms, working on steep slopes like a mountain goat. At Parker Brothers, our skilled workers have chosen this challenging trade as their career choice. These are the people that you want working on your roof. We've been servicing the community since 1995. Call us at 656-8112.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
CGC 042221, CCC 049350.
Hi, I'm Jesse Ross, owner and co-founder of Lake Tribe Brewing right here in Tallahassee. When my father, my two brothers, and I started Lake Tribe, we had one simple goal: to create great tasting quality craft beer that reflects our love for the great outdoors and have some fun along the way. If you're in town with 80,000 of your like-minded friends, stop by the brewery off West Tharp Street for a pint or a flight of our vast selection of Lake Tribe beer on tap, or stop by at the next gathering of the Garnet and Gold. We're open Thursdays and Fridays 4 to 9 and Saturdays from 1 to 9. Lake Tribe Brewing, find your native spirit.
Just how good does a Sport Clips championship haircut experience make you feel? Like your hair has its own walk-up music. No matter what kind of guy you are. Maybe you play sports. Maybe you play sports online. Or maybe your sport is keeping up with your kids. You want hair so good it deserves its own walk-up music. And at Sport Clips, we make it easy. Just check in online, choose your stylist, and head to Sport Clips. You'll get a game-changing cut from a stylist trained for guys. Go big with the MVP experience and get recharged with a massaging shampoo and their legendary hot steamed towel. They'll always finish strong by styling your hair just right, tightening up that beard, and getting you on your way. Hair this good needs no introduction, but you'll want one anyway. Appointment-free championship haircuts for men and boys surrounded by what you know and love, sports. So get in line online today at sportclips.com/check-in and get your hair in the game.
The Jeff Cameron Show, weekdays 3 to 6 on 97.9 ESPN Radio, is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
At Discover, we believe anniversaries should be a time of celebration, not obligation. That's why we think annual fees are ridiculous. And now, just for giving us a try, we're going to give new card members a one-year anniversary gift they'll never forget. At the end of your first year, we'll match all the cash back you've earned dollar for dollar. No caps and no catches, because we know if you try us, you'll like us. And that's worth every penny. Try it and believe it at discover.com/match. Cashback match offer only for new card members. Limitations apply.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio, also Sirius XM Channel 84. Hey, look, it's the time, right? Here we go. And I always love this time of year. I know all of you do too, but I know it's football season when I start my coaches' interviews. And this is going to be a first, at least for us, with Willie Taggart as the head man at Florida State. Coach, first of all, thanks so much for your time, and happy belated birthday. I know we were just talking off the air about that. I know you had a good one, and you got to be pumped. You got to be excited. It's go time.
Oh, yes, sir. It's all gas, no brakes from here on. So looking forward to it, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was thinking about this, and what a cool moment it is. Everything you've done as a player and as a coach, and I suppose as a man, has led you to this moment. And I know you're a cool customer, but I have to imagine maybe the good kind of butterflies hit you when you think about coaching your first game at Doak as the head man at Florida State on Monday night.
Oh, yeah, it's going to hit me hard. Trying to prepare myself for that and make sure. The one thing I want to make sure that I don't trip and fall as we run out of the tunnel. You know, we're still kicked up, so make sure that still look athletic as I run out of there.
Yeah, you lose style points if you
right.
bust
No, but it's going to be great. Just getting out there with the guys. They've been working really hard and to get in Doak Campbell and feel the excitement in the stadium. It's going to be really good against a very good football team.
You know, it's not too often you hear a coach say after a scrimmage that it was, quote-unquote, awesome. And you seemed very pleased with what you saw in the final scrimmage. And I'm curious why. What was it you saw that elicited that response?
Well, the things that I look at when we in the scrimmage, of course, efficiency on both sides of the ball and special teams. And I thought we got a lot of that. But more importantly, I thought our guys fought back when we had our last scrimmage, and offense started off really strong, and defense just didn't give in to that. They made some adjustment and came back and made it a better scrimmage, you know. And then offense fought back too. It was kind of back and forth, which was good to see.
Has Coach Barnett remarked about how different it is for him going up against tempo every day in practice? Maybe that's not the right way to phrase it, but it is different than obviously what they faced on a daily basis at Michigan State. And reports out of scrimmage say the offense saw final couple of weeks surge, if you will. And I guess how true is that? And does that excite you or concern you? What you've seen from both sides in the battle?
It excites me because our guys are starting to understand what we're doing on the offense side of the ball, especially the young guys. I mean, we have a lot of young guys on the side of the ball, and they're starting to understand it, and you're starting to get a synergy among the offensive guys, and it's good to see, especially as you go into the season. And it don't concern me about our defense, because we put them in a lot of tough situations, and it's tough on any defense when some of the situations we put them in, but I think our defense has made our offense so much better, and us going up against them. I think we have one of the better defensive linemen lying out there, and it's preparing our offensive line really well for the season.
I'm curious, Coach, in your experience implementing this kind of an offense, what's the most difficult aspect to teach and for kids to learn in order to play the way you want to play?
Well, I think the tempo part of it, just going fast, and you got to think fast, and it can't be a lot of thinking because of the tempo, and guys understanding when and why we're doing what we're doing. But I think more of the tempo. So many. I mean, these guys played in a no huddle offense, so everything came from the huddle and kind of jogged to the line and kind of ran the play. Now it's running to the line. It's no huddle. It's looking over. It's seeing the signal, and now I got to go play. I got to see the defense, the front, really fast, and then we got to go.
I know this week you announced, obviously, that DeAndre Francois is your starting quarterback. For people listening around the country and curious about the offseason that DeAndre had, I know you set goals for him and expectations for him, both as a young man and as a quarterback and as a leader, which by definition you have to be at that position. It's also a position you played. He's met all of those. I'm kind of paraphrasing you, but then some. Talk about what went into that decision, and obviously I think it's kind of a celebration for a young man to take a step forward and learn from maybe previous mistakes and mature.
Well, absolutely. And DeAndre's done everything we asked of him. taken ownership in everything that's happened with him, and he's handled the consequences that we've had for him here within the program, and he's been everything we've been wanting from him since then, and for him to decide to move back on campus to be around his teammates, and I see him around them more often. He's smiling more often. He's talking more often. It's really neat to see him grow from that standpoint, and then just from a football standpoint, just for him to come in training camp and just watching our offense, how it moves efficiently when he's in there, and him taking care of the football, it was pretty neat to see.
And for anybody that knows the young man, nobody is surprised to see that James Blackman, and I suppose also Bailey Hockman, took the news well. And James even stating publicly that it's okay. I'm going to be there for him. He was there for me, and I'm going to be the best team that I could be. So it's always good when you have a heated battle and competition to get that response when one of the guys doesn't win that battle.
James, that's James Blackman, but I want to make sure that I let you know James was disappointed, and that's just him being the competitor that he is. And James is going to be a great football player, and James, he also understands him that he's got to be ready, just like last year when DeAndre went down and he was thrown into the fire, and Bailey understand it too. Just watching these guys compete throughout training camp, it was fun to see, to be honest with you, and it was a good problem to have, and at the end of the day, we had to pick a guy, and we felt DeAndre would be the best guy for us.
Some of the chatter coming out of camp that I think is exciting for Florida State fans has been the play, perhaps from folks that maybe they didn't anticipate hearing from or getting immediate contributions from, guys like Anthony Grant that you've mentioned, and I know you singled out Warren Thompson the other day, and guys like Trayshawn Harrison, and I know earlier in camp Keyshawn Helton stood out. These have all been guys that have been mentioned. How much do you anticipate playing the freshmen?
Those guys are making plays every single day, and we're going to put our good players on the football field, and those guys are earning the respect of their teammates and making plays for us. And the guys that can make plays and earn that respect and earn those reps, they're going to play for us. I think you'll see a few freshmen out there playing for us.
You sounded more confident on Monday that Dontavius Jackson would be ready to go for the opener. I guess I want to ask you about him and Stanford Samuels at this point. Is that still the case? You feel good about Dontavius, and is Stanford going to be able to give it a go on Monday night?
Yeah, I feel good. Dontavius practiced yesterday. He came out and practiced yesterday, and then Stanford was running around and went through individual with us. So I feel good about both of those guys.
Any week one concerns for Cole Minshew?
Cole, hopefully he can play for us. There's a really good chance.
Okay. One couple last things here, Coach, and I'll let you move on here. I know we've seen in practice how you let Walt Bell do his job instructing and coordinating the offense. Coach Bell's been clear, though, in saying that his game day week job will be to make your job, usually on Saturdays, in this case Monday, just the way you want it. But now that it's actually game week, how does your game, I guess give me some insight into your game plan meetings and what do they look and sound like generally?
Well, we all sit in the meeting and we're watching film and together as an offensive group, and we all discuss what we're trying to do, how we want to attack a defense, and the plays we want to run, and how we want to go about doing it. And each coach have a certain area of the game that he's an expert at, and we all come together and kind of put the game plan together and go from there.
I'd be remiss, but fans love it. Uniform talk, Coach.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't let you off without asking you about it. I get asked about it 400 times a day, so I'm gonna go ahead and deflect it to you, and we'll see if I can get you to bite. What combo have you decided on for the opener? And if so, I guess, will you release your plan for each game before the season starts or on a specific day of game week? How are you going to go about it?
Yes, we're actually going to release it every Monday.
Okay.
Of game week, and so everyone will know what we're wearing. It will be different, but we're still going to have our tradition and what we do. But it'll be fun, It'll be fun, and I think
it is fun. Fans love it. Kids love it. I mean, you got to love it, right?
Oh, absolutely. It'll be fun, and we all love it when we're winning. So if we don't win, then it won't be good at all.
Hey, Coach, it's always a pleasure. Good luck, and I'll talk to you throughout the year, and best of luck to you.
Hey, thank you very much, and go Noles.
All right, take care. That's Willie Taggart, head coach, Florida State University, making his debut and making time for us on the Jeff Cameron Show, which I appreciate. We'll have that interview for you all season long, and he's a fun guy to talk to. I talked to him off the air before we went on with the interview, and he's as relaxed as you could be. I can't imagine that there aren't moments where you just stop in your tracks and think, I'm the head coach at Florida State, and I'm about to coach my first game and run out of that tunnel at Doak Campbell Stadium with a nation watching, all eyes on me and this team and this university and this program. Maybe you can't afford to look at it like that because you got so much to prepare for, but he seems pretty relaxed given that he's a guy about to do just that. It's Jeff Cameron Show 97.9 ESPN Radio. Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand, all snug and secure where it won't tip over or roll under your seat or get hot in the sun. So find a store already, grab some dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs and put that loose change back in your pocket. That's what pockets are for. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
You know Tasty Pastry for the wonderful special occasion cakes and delicious pastries. But do you know that they have a great selection of casseroles for dinner? Favorites like shepherd's pie, chicken pot pie, chicken parmesan, beef stroganoff, and many more. They also have breakfast sandwiches, egg casseroles, and quiche in many flavors available for takeout. Located at 1355 Market Street. Tasty Pastry Bakery, a Tallahassee tradition since 1963.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
At Discover, we believe anniversaries should be a time of celebration, not obligation. That's why we think annual fees are ridiculous. And now, just for giving us a try, we're going to give new card members a one-year anniversary gift they'll never forget. At the end of your first year, we'll match all the cash back you've earned dollar for dollar. No caps and no catches, because we know if you try us, you'll like us. And that's worth every penny. Try it and believe it at discover.com/match. Cashback match offer only for new card members. Limitations apply.
Calling all golfers. Labor Day is your last chance to save huge this summer at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with deals in every department this Friday through Labor Day. Trade in your old clubs and get a 50% bonus trade-in value towards your new Callaway Rogue purchase. Pick up a dozen Titleist prior generation NXT Tour or NXT Tour S golf balls for just $24.99 and save 10, 15, or even 20% on apparel. The more you spend, the more you save. Don't miss these deals and more. 4 days only at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Home with a 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Open on Labor Day.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
Time now for your Atlanta Braves Minute. Brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey. Personal injury law is all they do.
Following their first night off in 3 weeks on Monday, the Braves got back to work and took the first of a two-game series from the Rays by a score of 9-5 at SunTrust Park. Tampa got a run in both the second and third on sac flies from Michael Perez and Jake Bowers, but the Braves would take the lead with a 4-run bottom of the fifth, highlighted by a 2-out, 2-run double from Nick Markakis. The Rays would eventually tie it in the top of the eighth on an RBI single from Willy Adames, but in the bottom of the inning, Atlanta regained the lead as Adam Duvall beat a tag play at the plate following a ground out from Dansby Swanson. Then with one on and one out and the Braves up a run, up stepped Tyler Flowers looking to pad to the Atlanta lead.
Throw to Flowers and he hits it hard to the left field corner, curling toward the bullpen. That ball is gone for Tyler Flowers. The happiest man in SunTrust Park signed a contract extension today and jacks a 2-run home run to punctuate an 8th inning rally.
Two batters later, Ender Inciarte would also homer to right center field for his 9th of the year. Braves now give the ball to Sean Newcomb as they look for a sweep of the brief two-game series. And as always, hear the call live from SunTrust Park right here on the Braves Radio Network. First pitch tonight is set for 7:35 p.m. Eastern. With the Braves, I'm Kevin McAlpin for the Atlanta Braves Radio Network, lit by Louisiana Hot Sauce.
Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
That didn't suck. Good talking to Willie Taggart, the Pepsi coach's interview. If you missed it, you can hear it again in the 5 o'clock hour. 5:15, Willie Taggart to join us again. He's going to be so tired of talking to us by the end of this day. That'll be 3 separate interviews. To a hard time there. And thus, it floats.
And all right, then 5:12. Jump in at 5 in case we're early. Sometimes we'll get out of the way, and we got a fully loaded 5 o'clock hour today. So
it's a great. So that's your code for me as a host and you as a producer. That was Tom's nice way of saying, dude, I'm going to need you to get out at the times that we discussed before the show began this time around, because you never do that and you plow right through it as if I never had the conversation with you. But today I'm asking that you please don't do that, because we have a lot of commercials, because we're sold out. The popularity of the show's never been greater, and we have interviews. So you're going to have to get out when I ask you to get out, please. Is that what that was?
It may be that specificity was asked for and handed down. You know, that we wanted.
Other people asked you
times
to speak to me about my lack of concern for the clocks. Perhaps.
Could be.
It could be. Tom is a really good kind of mediator. He's not only a dear friend and an awesome producer, but he's very good at handling the talent. because he knows me well enough to know that I don't like, and it's a terrible trait, to be told what to do by people that are quote-unquote my bosses, and that if I am, then I will purposely screw that up, usually. And I don't know why. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's sort of the old, minor threat in me, suicidal tendencies. I don't know what that is. The bands, folks. The bands.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know what that, but you know it, and so then you do such a wonderful job of just bridging those things, of saying, well, if I tell him this way, he's just not going to do it. So I'm going to have to tell him this other way.
Right.
Sometimes I'm driving down the road and I go, wait a minute.
Well, and I can't do it like head up because you don't like that at all.
No.
So, well, you give me orders around here?
I don't think I'd say it like that.
But whatever you'd say would have that undertone. You know what show this is?
Right.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show.
I don't know
That's
that
what
I
show
would
it
say
is.
it like that. I don't think I would. Yes, you might feel that coming from me, but that wouldn't be the aim.
That's not what you actually say. That's
of course
the subtext.
Not. No, I don't
The
need.
subtext is, all right, I mean, I'll do it how I usually do it, and we'll get to it.
That's the subtext, not
Right.
do you know what this is. It's the subtext is I'm going to do it the way I do
Jeff
it.
Cameron Show, doing this for years, quite successful.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. Hey, by the way, I think it's a really, I know it's college football time and it's Florida State time, and I want to react to Willie Taggart's interview, and we'll do so here momentarily. But, man, damn it. The New Orleans Saints today were smart, and the Jets were kind of dumb. And the Saints decided to trade for Teddy Bridgewater, whom I think, if he's healthy, is good. Like, going to be better than Sam Darnold good. So that's kind of a weird move.
Okay.
Well, listen, lest we forget, Teddy was on the cusp of being an upper crust quarterback in this league.
Thank you for activating the Lewin Career Forecaster. There are 7 variables involved in the Lewin Career Forecast. The Lewin Career Forecast loves Bridgewater.
Boy, Lewin was all over it that year, wasn't he? I mean, nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that worked out well that year. The Lewin Career Forecaster, which had the variables, all 7 of which, said Bridgewater was going to be a very good quarterback, and it turned out to be spot on, man. They spun the big wheel, they pressed the buttons, and do happened, and they went, yep, we're all over Bridgewater, like him. And then that turned out to be accurate. He of the tiny hands Bridgewater family.
Man, oh man, I missed Lewin. It's been a minute for Lewin.
We got to bring Lewin back because I think Lewin would have said about Josh Allen, no. That would have been his description, right? He would have said that about the potential of him being an elite quarterback in the league.
There were a couple that we had the Lewin coaches forecaster for a minute, and then that didn't last very long.
Well, the sun was setting on Kelly at the time, I think it was, at Notre Dame.
Well, for Kelly, yeah, there was some thoughts there, yeah.
And
touchdown, Jesus! You're fired.
That was the raw audio without the...
Yeah. That's right. I brought up the command list. I can actually get into the...
I like it.
The coding of the Lewin forecast.
So Bridgewater goes to New Orleans, and the Jets trade him, and that, according to Ian Rappaport today, and that's damn frustrating for me as a Buccaneers fan who watches a division play out year in and year out with the best quarterback play just about top to bottom in the league. And I just figured soon Drew Brees would retire and they would have to find that other guy, that elusive franchise quarterback that teams struggle to find typically. And now they've got Bridgewater. Now, listen, it's a drop-off no matter what because Drew Brees is one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game. So you're not going to just replace him, but you got a viable option now. I was looking forward to the search. I like when teams are searching. When they're off in the dark trying to find the guy and they can't find the guy and years go by and those subsequent years that go by, ass kickings take place. But now, no. That angers me.
No, not at all. And I like watching Teddy Bridgewater play the game, so now you're not going to see him play it down until, Drew Brees hangs it up in 5 years.
Yeah, so I root for Bridgewater too, by the way. because of what he went through. That's a crazy non-contact interview that brutalized his leg, nearly took his leg. Unless we go back and you read the gruesome nature of that surgery and that report.
Yeah.
It's hard to fathom that we could do that kind of damage to ourselves merely standing around throwing a football or stepping forward. It's crazy.
Talk about being on the brink. For how long? You know, how many days was it like that? Or how many days was it close? One sudden movement away from snapping like a twig. They said he could have died on the field. It wasn't just about taking the leg.
No,
he
I know.
Died.
They had emergency personnel there. It's not team trainers. An ambulance was rushed to the scene to get him into surgery. I tell you what, man.
It's a good thing that wasn't a game, and it was contact versus non-contact. I mean, could you imagine?
I don't know that he could have brutalized it any worse. I mean, reading that thing, I read that report, and they had this guy's leg, like, dangling, basically, internally. It wasn't a compound, but, like, it was...
right. Oh. You'd probably looking at a compound pushing through, you know, kind of stuff if somebody hit you.
I've told you before on the air that I don't deal well with the compound fracture. Nobody does. I have seen one in person, up close and personal. And no, not doing that. I can deal with a lot of things. I can see a lot of things. I'd rather see a dude have his arm chopped right off than a compound fracture, to see a bone splintered and jutting out of the skin.
Yeah.
Jutting out.
I'll avoid both if I can.
All right, so I do have to react to the Willie Taggart interview and also the fact that he sounds like a confident man. Doesn't he sound like a coach that feels very good about the way camp went?
Yeah, things aren't moving too fast for him in this moment.
No,
yeah.
He is of the moment, in the moment, and excited about it. That's a good thing.
For tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shops work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary. Get your history lesson weekdays at 5:30 during the Jeff Cameron Show, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Are you tired of getting the same two-piece kits? Cornerstone Tool & Fastener in DeWalt have your answer. Buy a 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit with 2 4-amp-hour batteries and receive a free 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit. That's correct. You get 2 DeWalt 3-speed impact kits for the price of 1, only at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. While you're there, check out the power of freedom. FlexVolt 60-volt tools from chainsaws to string trimmers, blowers, and even compressors. Cornerstone has the largest DeWalt selection in Tallahassee. 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
Summer's winding down, and we know you want to enjoy what's left of it. But before you celebrate this Labor Day weekend, plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Fire the cannons.
Fire them cannons!
97.9 ESPN Radio is now Tallahassee's flagship station for Tampa Bay Buccaneers football.
Pass toward the end zone, fade route, caught ball, touchdown Tampa Bay, Mike Evans. Bucs lead 6-0.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers football on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by Fire Betty's Arcade Bar, Bagel Market Bistro, and by AmeriGas Propane of Tallahassee.
Can I say Bucs win? We do!
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Get signed up today, GameDayExcursions.com. If you're going to the Florida State Notre Dame game, that's where you got to go. You got to go to GameDayExcursions.com and join Tom and myself, along with thousands of Nole fans. What you'll enjoy once you sign up is a bottomless mimosa Bloody Mary morning, welcome to Chicago kind of reception, a premium bus transportation to and from Chicago and South Bend, an exclusive tailgate party steps away from the stadium, stocked with beer, food, and entertainment for your pleasure. Game Day Excursions hosted this blowout, I should say. Kind of a big blowout, big celebration. Got to clarify what kind of celebration. In South Bend for Georgia fans who did it up the right way last year. Check them out. Get your tickets today at GameDayExcursions.com. They have a hotel block exclusively for you, Nole fans. Rates at $189 a night, which is considerably cheaper than it ordinarily is. At the W Hotel Lakeshore, be sure and use the promo code JCS at checkout to get $10 off your order. That's promo code JCS at GameDayExcursions.com. Willie is comfortable, obviously, in his own skin, comfortable, it seems, in his role as head coach at Florida State, often noting how excited he is and how hard it will hit him when he runs out of that tunnel. And I think that's true. It would be hard not to get teary-eyed if you were realizing a dream in that moment, but there is work to be done, and he loves these kids and wants them to succeed and knows that they went through an awful lot last year. I don't mean to be overly dramatic or melodramatic in this case. It is just football, but what a disastrous season it was a year ago. And it all started with that first game, another high-profile game. This is back-to-back years in which Florida State is playing a big-time game to start the season. This one a year ago against Bama, so eagerly anticipated. Certainly more so, I think, in retrospect, than this particular game, which we are pumped about. And then it all went south. We don't get the interference call. The half kind of ends in a tough way, and you feel like you left points out on the field. Second half doesn't go well. Alabama adjusts. DeAndre plays terribly in the second half. Then he gets hurt, which is insult to injury, right? And that was frustrating. Then your season felt kind of lost before it ever got started. You thrust a true freshman into the role of starting quarterback, a role he wasn't prepared for and couldn't be expected to execute well in, or at least not consistently. And then it all continues to go south, and it gets really ugly off the field as well. The head coach checks out. Players don't seem to be bought in any longer, and it's a program in limbo. Then Willie arrives and sees the results of all of that and instantly realizes, I've got to change culture. I got to change the way they're doing things in here and get these kids to care and invest again. And he's done that, and now you just hope that it all adds up, obviously, to a lot of wins, because that's all that's left to be done now. They've prepared well. They've practiced well. They've implemented the new offensive scheme, defensive scheme. They've gotten kids to buy in, to hang around the program, to be over there at the more often. And, here we go.
There's a lot of things that Jimbo's system does well when it's run at peak efficiency. It did us very, very well for quite a few years. We're hopeful that Willie's style of coaching will be the same. But there was one thing that was common sense to me, and we knew after the NC State game that, you can claim different strokes for different folks in a lot of facets of coaching. But Walt Bell has been consistent this camp. Anytime a freshman's name comes up, what does he say when he talks to the media? I don't want to heap too much praise on these kids to give them too much pressure, more than they can handle. But looking back at that situation last year where we had the 3-week layoff due to the hurricane cancellation, I mean, James Blackman and the hype. Remember that? Jimbo was willing to go on the coach's call-in show. He was willing to speak to the media before an assembled press for a press conference.
Have you ever figured out, I'm going to interrupt you because I remember it well.
Praise upon praise for a true freshman.
Can you figure out where that came from?
I have no earthly idea.
Was the goal to, again, infuse some sort of confidence in the young man, even though he knew he was in an impossible situation? Maybe that the kid was just too green, too young to know any better, and if he heard his head coach saying, hey, you've got the tools, you've got the command of the offense, you're going to be great, don't worry about it, wait till you see this guy, everybody. Because I bought in because Jimbo wasn't the kind of guy to praise a player effusively the way he was a year ago, and just, it wasn't there right away.
Well, especially at two positions, quarterback and receiver. Like, if you weren't the truth, he wasn't going to talk about you that way. And then Eberle echoed those sentiments. They followed the coach's lead, I guess. Eberle echoed those sentiments, Derwin James a little bit too. I mean, he might have been okay in practice, but it's just, that's something that Jimbo early in his tenure would never have done. I mean, that's just crazy. And then when, this new coaching staff got here and you asked questions in that interview with Willie Taggart about a Keyshawn Helton, Trayshawn Harrison, Warren Thompson, Anthony Grant, among others, Jalen Woodby, they're careful. They don't want to destroy the kid's psyche before they even have a chance to play at Doak Campbell Stadium on a Monday night.
Yeah, they'll tell you they're going to play, they're going to see time, and guys that are making plays in practice are going to get on the field for a game, whether you're a freshman or not. But that's about where it ends. They don't turn around and then say, and oh, by the way, he'll dominate the game. He looks unstoppable. Wait till you get a load of this guy. They don't say that. That said, you just rattled him off. I did too in the interview and talking to him. To me, that's the story of camp, is how many freshmen have been talked about as playing a significant role in having big days at practice, big days in the scrimmage, and contributing big time to this offense and this defense. They love Woodby, but, you just mentioned all the offensive players. Those guys are going to play. They're going to get minutes. They're going to get opportunities. They're going to get reps. It's exciting. I mean, none of us have, seen those guys, and I'm excited to see them come Monday night, which is right around the corner. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Neese Tire and Auto Service. Neese has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Neese Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Neese Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Nissan. 2018 Frontier King Cab S models with automatic transmission start at only $20,495. Compare that to the Toyota Tacoma King Cab SR model with automatic transmission. At invoice minus rebates, Tacoma starts at $24,646. That's $4,151 more than our Frontier. Or the full-size Titan and Titan XD starting at only $20,995 for a 2018 Titan Single Cab S model. Even better, just $26,995 for a 2018 Titan Crew Cab S model. And it's only at Kraft Nissan. Plus, the Nissan Titan has America's best truck warranty of 5 years or 100,000 miles, bumper to bumper. So please, before you buy a Dodge, Chevy, Ford, or Toyota, check out the Nissan Frontier and Titan trucks. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Prices include dealer preparation charge and Nissan Conquest or Loyalty Truck Cash.
Calling all golfers. Labor Day is your last chance to save huge this summer at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with deals in every department this Friday through Labor Day. Trade in your old clubs and get a 50% bonus trade-in value towards your new Callaway Rogue purchase. Pick up a dozen Titleist prior generation NXT Tour or NXT Tour S golf balls for just $24.99 and save 10, 15, or even 20% on apparel. The more you spend, the more you save. Don't miss these deals and more. 4 days only at Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Open on Labor Day.
What's up, Jeff? How you doing today, bro?
Glorious. I thought it would never end. Interminable summer. Now here we are at the precipice of football.
It is indemitable. We get to sing songs and have fun outside.
Sing songs? I've never sung a song at a football game. You're singing?
Oh, we sing all the time. It's great.
The football I watch, we're yelling like gladiators for our team to win big.
Look, all I know is Friday night under the lights, it is fantastic.
Fridays. Saturdays, Eddie. Football is played on Saturdays. What are you talking about?
For a sports talk show host, you really don't know a lot about sports.
Eddie, we're talking football.
Yes, Jeff. Football.
No, football, Eddie. American football. Football. Say football.
Football.
Eddie, say foot.
Foot.
Ball.
Ball.
Football.
Football.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996. Try to be a redneck. Football.
Football, you all.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
Missing Sunday's preseason game. Meanwhile, the Bengals locking up two of their defensive centerpieces. Two-time All-Pro defensive tackle Geno Atkins agreeing to a 4-year extension.
Trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello, hope you're well. We're almost there. There's football tomorrow, Redemption Thursday tomorrow. We'll get those picks out there, the first for the year. Big Daddy J making his debut in the college football season.
That's a big day right there.
About that, Big Daddy's ready to roll, man. I got to sit down and do some work tonight in between doing this show and the show on the PGA Tour Network with my good friend Trey Jones this evening at 9 o'clock as we continue to cover the FedEx playoffs. If that's your cup of tea, SiriusXM tonight on the PGA Tour channel, we'll be doing that. Got a lot of fun.
It would appear that Bryson DeChambeau will be on the Ryder Cup team now. I mean, he just won in the playoff.
There's no way you couldn't. He's got 3 wins, 2 this year, right? I mean, you kind of got to put him on the team.
Number 1 in the standings heading into this week.
Yeah, you got to put him on the team. Here's the thing, and I know that's not what today's about, but since we brought, no, it's all right. I'm just going to give you my opinion on this. I've kind of turned the corner on him, not the person, not the douchey. That's not going anywhere, man. That's who that guy is, right? He's difficult. But I like the philosophy. I like that he thinks outside the box. I like that he's not cookie cutter. I like that he does things differently and has success doing it. I like to know that there's a way beyond the way that so many other guys on tour do things, and that you can find and forge ahead with your own style, your own swing, if you will, literally his own swing, which doesn't involve much of a hip turn at all. He's the most upright player on the tour. It's just a lot of stuff going on there that I think I could imitate, and I like that.
I agree.
That's all you'll say. So we'll move forward. Willie Taggart next hour, if you missed it last hour or this morning. Good interview, fun talking to him, and it's palpable now. Like you can, just having that interview, having that conversation has me thinking a lot about the actual X's and O's of this game. And next hour, I also think that you'll enjoy the interview we did with Andy Bitter. He covers for the Athletic, Virginia Tech. So we'll talk to him, and you'll hear what he has to say about the game and about the camp so far, really, more than anything else. And here's the thing. It's been fascinating to me to listen to the way these two coaches have addressed their team, their camp, and this game. I do think Willie is very confident, not in a cocky way, not in a way that suggests that he's overconfident. We talked about this on Seminole Headlines yesterday. Remember that game when Florida State went on the road out to Norman? I was there. It was a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. And Oklahoma just beat us senseless. And they went out there with the attitude that they were not only going to compete but win that football game. They had a belief that they were the better team and that it was their time. Jimbo thought he had something lying in wait for Oklahoma. And it was a rude comeuppance. Turned out that Florida State wasn't anywhere close to the caliber of team that Oklahoma was. And by the way, that wasn't even a very good Oklahoma team. So it was a humbling experience. And looking back, I think later on it was sort of revealed, and just in conversations that I had with Coach Fisher, that maybe he regretted how much bravado, how much confidence he not only portrayed but was willing to speak of during the weeks in preparation heading into that game. It was probably the most, confident, arrogant, cocky he really ever was again. I mean, I don't even think during the 29 straight wins he was that way.
No, and I can tell you, being on the beat at that time, exactly how the interviews went that week. One day in particular stands out. He's walking to talk to the media. He's just giving the guys, he's pointing at him. He's like, hey, how you doing? He's coming up. He's like, all right, guys, what you got for me?
Yeah.
And he's sipping on a water cup, and he's chewing on ice as he's answering. Not a care in the world. He knows that they're going to get on that plane, and Florida State, the program, is going to arrive. Everything about his body language and how he answered questions was unique to the entire time that Jimbo was here. He was perfectly at ease.
And I say that in order to inform this conversation, which is that Willie hasn't been that way. He's been a different kind of confident, but I think it stems from the message was received, bought into, the players believe in it, they've done everything that they've been asked to do, and he was able to accomplish what he wanted to accomplish in camp, which is to get things up to speed. I asked him last hour in an interview again I did this morning, about what's the hardest thing to implement, what's the hardest thing to teach and then get kids to execute about your system. And he said, well, it's the tempo. It's not so much it's complicated in any way. In fact, Chris asked a question on Twitter. It's applicable. I'll let Willie give you the answer, Chris. The question on Twitter, @JCameronShow, #ahole, is would you say Jimbo's system has a higher ceiling but requires more, whereas Taggart's system may have a lower ceiling but can be more easily implemented?
#ahole.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I mean, I think if you've got the right kind of athletes running any system and you recruit to it and you've got a depth of talent that any offensive system, if well executed, well run with the proper personnel, can be incredibly difficult to stop. And so it's not about so much confusion in the film room all the time as it is they got good players executing a system that gives them opportunities to succeed or attack.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
I mean, you got 11 guys going to the league. You got a first overall pick. You got a first-round pick at receiver. You've got an NFL leading rusher and most paid running back as of last year in Devonta Freeman. Brian Stork was on the Super Bowl champion Patriots the next year as a center.
And a starter.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and you had the number one player selected in the NFL draft at the most important position on the field.
If you had that collection of talent running Willie's offense, I'll bet they'd probably put up prolific numbers too and maybe break records with that group in that style too.
Without question.
Yeah.
But I will say though, if you're just simply looking at a playbook and you're trying to figure out, everything that's asked of you, is this considerably smaller? Are there fewer options? Yeah, that's fair. But that's really, again, not the important factor here. I think that he got them to play at the tempo, finally, at the tempo that he was attempting to get them to play at, to understand what they were trying to get done. So when that happened and they became more efficient and they got it done in a practice at a scrimmage later on, I think he began to feel pretty confident. And yet he saw enough from the defense, especially in this last scrimmage, and that's why this last scrimmage was important, because basically sometime about 10 days ago, the offense began to light it up and look like they were rounding into form. And that was bad news for the defense, as the defense struggled to get lined up and to make a stop and to kind of quell this run of chunk plays and big plays and scores. They responded this time around in the scrimmage, even after the offense got it rolling. He needed to see that they were going to bow up and get some stops and stem the tide. And when he saw that, I think he felt like, okay, we're in a good place. Look, coaches always want more time. They always want more days to prepare and teach, implement. I got you, install. But short of that, which they don't get, you're about as ready. I get the sense Willie feels like they're about as ready as they could be, given the set of circumstances. And that's got to be, obviously, a bit of an ease, right? You would feel it would ease some of the pressure. Okay, we got done what we wanted to. We're relatively healthy. Guys are doing what we asked them to. And so now all that's left is let's go out and get tested. Let's go. My granddad, I used to get this worried look on my face sometimes. And if he knew it was about school, he'd say, he called me Bud. What's wrong with you, Bud? I got a big test tomorrow, Granddad. And he'd say, did you prepare? Have you studied? Have you done everything you could do to prepare yourself to take this test? Because if you have, there's nothing you can do. Stop worrying about it. Go take the test. If you haven't, go get to work. The only thing that's going to ease your mind, the test is still the test. You may or may not do well, but the thing that keeps you up at night is when you don't feel prepared. And I get the sense that Willie is not staying up at night because he's prepared and he feels good about them.
Well, I think part of it, too, is the culture of the team, and that was the number one test. Once the recruiting class was salvaged and it was time for spring camp, it's about repairing a broken locker room. It's about repairing a culture and creating a new one, right? And he's seen two pieces of evidence, one with an individual and one with a side of the football, in the last month, 2 months, that they gave him all the right answers, what he's looking for. The person, DeAndre Francois. Okay, 12, if you want to be part of my program, you have to do the following 7 things. Here's your list. Good luck. And I'll be here every step of the way if you need me. DeAndre was. Now he's the starting quarterback. Defense. Think about it this way. That group last year against Alabama, game number 1, right? pinned back deep in our own territory time after time
Played
after time.
so well.
The heart that they played with in that game gets lost in the shuffle for that season.
Unfortunately, because it was a Herculean effort. That Alabama team started inside Florida State's 50, I think, on 5 possessions in a row.
It was the whole second half.
It's crazy.
And after the game, I recall tweeting and really feeling deep down that Jimbo should walk over to Charles Kelly and shake his hand, because there were so many questions about Charles entering the season, rightly so. But he got them to play hard and hard to the end of the game when they knew that there wasn't a chance we were going to win the game. There was pride on the line. That got beaten out of them by the end of the season. And that's unfortunate, because what could have been with that group if there was a little bit of positive reinforcements and victories?
Side, and yeah.
Right, then maybe the season changes and the defense is something that carries the day. But Willie walks into that situation and says, oh my God, what happens if they get punched in the mouth? And I suspect they put the defense in a situation to get punched in the mouth in scrimmage 1. I think Willie kind of alluded to it too in the interview.
He does in the interview. He says we put him in situations.
Right, exactly. And so they put him in another situation, and they respond with heart, and they respond by making some plays. So he's gotten reinforcement that his culture's working, that kids are willing to play through adversity as a defense, and that his quarterback is willing to buy into his culture as well.
Virginia Tech's strength, if you're going to get down to the nitty-gritty here, is, I would think, even though there is a vast amount of inexperience on the defensive side of the ball, it's up front on that defense. They're talented. They feel good about guys like Ricky Walker, like Hewitt, Jared Hewitt, Trayvon Hill, guys like that they feel very good about. Now, it's going to be interesting to see, because there's some guys that they were really going to depend on and they felt real good about that may not play as many minutes as they were hoping. Or it's not basketball, Jeff. As many reps.
Yeah.
Vinny Mahota is a guy that is 6'1", 300+ pounds in the middle of that line, and he's been dealing with an injury. And they're talking about maybe 10, at best 15 reps, snaps. That's a big blow to them. So Jared Hewitt will get the start, and they're a little worried about a couple different guys. Rashard Ashby, a linebacker. So they got some guys, in addition to losing so much personnel, they've got other guys that they're counting on for this game that are struggling to be ready, health issues. And I think, again, when you're talking about a team that has 14 of the 22 starters on offense and defense registering as either a freshman or a sophomore, many of whom have never played in a game. Well, you just have to like Florida State's chances. This is a long-winded way of saying that this has been a productive, fruitful camp, one that Willie feels very good about, and it's a Virginia Tech team that comes in here always dangerous. They've got talent, and they're well coached. I think Coach Fuente is a really, really good football coach, and obviously Bud Foster's reputation is sterling. So they got good coaches that will put their guys in a position to succeed, and I'm not saying it's a walk in the park, but as scenarios go, it's a good one if you're Florida State.
Well, yeah, it's like setting the table perfectly before Thanksgiving dinner. It's about to get ruined, right? There's going to be something that comes up, something will spill, something will break, and then you got to fix those things, got to do the dishes as they come. But you set it, and it looks perfect.
Certainly the ladies do, yes.
Well, we live in progressive times, sir. And I'll cover myself by saying, maybe I'll chip in and put the candlesticks down.
Yeah,
but Willie's done all that, but he can't predict what's going to happen on Monday. And when that problem arises, when the unexpected arises, then he's got to deal with the next thing. But you're right. He does sound like somebody who feels as though I've done all I can to this point, so that's why I'm comfortable with where this team is.
Yeah, that's all you can do. All you can do is prepare and cover all your bases.
Come what may, and we'll
let's
deal with everything as it comes. Yeah.
I don't want the scenario to play out in this way, but I would be very interested to see how this fan base reacted if they lose this game, because I think that it would be so bitterly disappointing. People have been so eager to attend this game, to once again embrace this program, this team. They wanted a fresh start. They got a fresh start. They got a guy that's one of us. They got a guy that's in love with Florida State in the same way we're in love with Florida State. And then, you want to see this to be a coronation. You want to see this be, all right, job well done, difficult times, you overcame a lot, and then we beat your ass, Virginia Tech. What a great start, Willie. But the narrative shifts quickly if you go out there and lose 30-10 with a nation watching. You'd be humiliated to some degree because, again, the whole country, I've listened to a lot of different shows this week just to try to get a gauge of the games that, the national media is talking about that covers college football specifically. I've watched the college game day shows and all that stuff on ESPN. I've listened to the SiriusXM shows. And I've tried to read as much as I could about what everybody's talking about. And there are about 5 games that everybody chimes in on. Obviously, Washington and Auburn is a big one that everybody's chiming in on. Miami and LSU is another big one. But this is a game that always comes up that everybody's excited to see play. And a lot of people are kind of, all right, what you got for me, Willie? You've been an interesting offseason story, and I am intrigued. You got my attention, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about you. I haven't seen you succeed at this level against this competition. I'm not sure. I like everything you've said and everything you've stood for, but let's see what you got. So a lot of people are excited about this game for the questions to be answered.
Well, I think a lot of people around the nation are like the impatient Florida State fan, and they see the total record, and they don't do homework on Willie, and they say, I don't think you're ready for this prime time. I get the sense that the more national you go, the more people say, wow, is it too much too soon for this guy?
Yeah. I think the more national you go, that is correct. And that seems to be the perception. Like the people have held out the idea that maybe he's the right guy, maybe this will work out. But so far on the resume, I'm not real sure he's ready for this. And the reason that's important is that it shapes perceptions. It certainly is a narrative that gets written and repeated. And so if you fail this first test, it's your first impression. Nobody was really watching Willie out at Oregon. They just weren't. It's Oregon. Oregon has a problem.
Yeah, not that Oregon.
I mean, they play a gazillion miles away from everything. It's a wonderful place. I love the Pacific Northwest, but they're not often on television. And I know we live in a day and an age where you can catch any team you want at any time. The truth is, most people still, by and large, are catching these games on your ABCs, your CBSs, what have you, primetime contests. You're watching whomever they put on, Eastern time, all that stuff. And so I don't think people were paying that close attention because expectations were low. It was a rebuilding process. And then his quarterback got hurt, and so they went 8-5 or whatever they went. And prior to that, he was at USF. And let's be honest, we know about his successes at USF. We know what he was able to do in his final 2 seasons there, winning 17 of his last 20 games there. But unless you are in the Southeast and, in particular, live in the state of Florida,
and super locked in at that point,
you don't give a damn about USF. I mean, let's be honest. South Florida, the University of, is insignificant. And so
it's kind of like Memphis, right, for Justin Fuente.
Right.
So you bring up.
We knew he did good things. He's a good coach, but people weren't paying attention to Memphis.
But even I don't have command of Memphis. You know what I mean? So he gets that job, and I know it's a good hire because the people who are dialed in, who I trust, say, this is a guy.
Watch this guy, yeah.
Watch this guy.
Well, it's like Braum going to Purdue. A lot of people are like, well, that's a sneaky good hire.
But if I co-op that, and I'm at a bar, maybe the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Maybe.
And somebody says, what about Virginia Tech? I goes, I like that hire. And they say, oh, really? Watching much Memphis? I'd be caught red-handed. No, I don't watch much Memphis at all.
But you would be able to rattle off the record and the successes and the numbers. I mean, we knew that they lit it up at Memphis.
No, but with USF, it's the same way for a lot of people around the country.
Without
for
question.
us, we'll see much more USF than somebody else. But I'm sure like a Volunteers fan might see more Memphis, right?
Yeah. Similar thing. Yeah, I got you. Well, yeah, so it's a show and prove thing right now.
Especially a Volunteer fan. They may be flocking to Memphis.
Oh, if you're a Volunteer fan, you're looking for anybody else other than the Volunteers. I mean, let's catch some Etsu football, a little ETSU. All right, Randy Sanders, what we got from you? No, I don't know. I mean, I think he's largely an unknown nationally. When I do other shows, when they have me on, if I go on in other states, especially if I'm on in the Midwest or anywhere on the West Coast, they all want to know, well, what's his deal? What's he like? What's he teach? What's his philosophy? What's his demeanor like? I mean, there are a few people on the West Coast that know if they covered the Pac-12, but so a lot of questions to be answered. We're all excited about it, but I do wonder if that nightmarish scenario were to play out, and knock on wood that it doesn't, how would people react? I think I know the national media would be like, yeah, he's that job was a little over his head. I bet you that's how that would get played.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Hell, there might be a not just a smattering, but a large contingent of Florida State fans that would say,
Well, I mean, when he was first hired, that was the way, right? You know, he's unproven. He hasn't done enough to earn the Florida State job. And I can understand that from a certain perspective, but you also got to look at trends, and Jimbo was a trendy hire and placement in the head coach and waiting role. He wasn't exactly head coach material at a big-time program.
He had never been a head coach.
Right, exactly. And in that sense, Willie's been a head coach in far more dire circumstances.
And proven himself in those circumstances.
Right. In theory, it all works. The question is, for him, too, I mean, I believe it's going to work out. And I believe his calm in the interview with you today at the press conference, I think that's real. I don't think that's a facade. But, you get to game day and it's your dream job and the adrenaline's going. You got to be able to handle those moments just like a Jalen Woodby has to handle it in the slot.
How about that guy earning a starting position as a true freshman? I mean, think about that. I mean, you talk about salvaging a recruiting class and hitting a home run. My goodness gracious.
Twitter landed him. He put out a tweet saying they were dumb enough not to offer me. And the coaches said they were dumb enough not to offer you?
Well,
let's go offer you.
Let's go offer you right now. Come on, man. He got himself recruited here. Yeah, that was really well done. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Guys, when that little voice in your head suddenly tells you, hey, it's time to get your hair in the game, then it's time to check in online at sportclips.com/check-in.
Time to claim your spot.
Hear that? That's the sound of your hair reminding you that anytime is a good time to log on, check in, and reserve your spot at your favorite Sport Clips for a fresh cut, legendary hot steam towel, and massaging shampoo. No matter if it happens at the gym, while grabbing a quick lunch, or trying to line up a putt, you can't deny your hair. So do it a favor by checking in online at sportclips.com/check-in. We'll tell you when to arrive to be just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience while you surround yourself with sports on TV. Check it out today and claim your spot wherever you are. Just go to sportclips.com/check-in. At Sport Clips, getting a game-changing haircut is easier than ever.
Time to claim your spot.
You know what? It's time you level up your lemon lime with clear, refreshing Mountain Dew Ice. We get it. You're used to a certain kind of lemon lime experience. But why settle for this when you could have this? You want a fist bump that ends in one of those fake explosions?
Hey, Charles.
Or a fist bump that ends in an actual explosion?
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Take this last second shot? Or make the last second shot? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, last second shot, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
Wow, E+ is great.
E+? Is that like A+?
It's better. The E stands for energy, but it should stand for easy.
Easy Plus?
Yep, easy ways to save energy, water, and money through the City of Tallahassee utilities. Easy ways to monitor our account, easy ways to pay our bill online, check our balance, compare usage history, and so much more.
And I see the City of Tallahassee Utilities has a smart bill, which sends our bill directly to our email inbox for easy payment online, too. What a time saver.
And when we download the City of Tallahassee's digital app, we can do everything on our phones, even report service issues like a power outage or blocked road.
Plus, when we go to talgov.com, we can get more information on other great City of Tallahassee utilities, like the Energy Star rebates and insulation grants. Wow, the E really should stand for easy.
Yep, E+ from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. It helps customers save energy, water, and money.
Front Row Knowles, featuring Tom Block and Keith Jones, is brought to you by Hobson Chevrolet in Cairo, Georgia. Get your best deal the Hobson way. Catch Front Row Knowles every Wednesday night at 6, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Brian writes at Jay Cameron Show. Stoked to see Taggart come out of that tunnel Monday night. He gets his first in a long line of many wins if ... We don't turn it over. I really think it's that straightforward here is if you protect the football. It's such a lazy analysis maybe, but I don't think Virginia Tech has a distinct advantage anywhere. So if you're the better team, the more experienced team playing at home, I think you just have to do whatever it is you can to not turn the football over. I mean, obviously protect the football is everything because cheap, quick points change momentum. Those kinds of things can turn the tide and cause young guys in their first game to maybe press a little and do things that cause things to spiral. But short of that, if you execute and don't turn it over, you're just a better team.
Well, and as Willie runs out of the tunnel, flanked by players in black jerseys with garnet helmets and gold face masks.
Yeah, that's the announcement today that they're going with the All Blacks, and that will rub people the wrong way because you would think that in game number one as head coach of a university that you grew up rooting for and absolutely adore, that you would want to be more traditional. I think that's the thought of the people that don't like the idea. That and we haven't had a lot of success in the black uniforms, period. But having said that, you have to know that this was more of a reward for the players, whom he tasked with doing a lot of things. In particular, going to class and improving in that area. I mean, we were in desperate shape when it came to the classroom. And Florida State was on the cusp of being in trouble for that. And reports are that this was the highest GPA since the early 2000s for a semester from the football team. So I know that, you get an eye roll when you start talking about the student part of student athletes. But they went to class. Willie has really pushed that since he's arrived, and he told him if they worked hard and stayed out of trouble off the field and went to class and showed up in the classroom, that he'd let them pick the uniforms they wanted to wear for this first game. And so I got no problem with that because guess what? They didn't get in trouble. They did get a high GPA, and they have worked hard. So, okay, that's fine, man.
And the uniform may be the garnet uniform, but like we said earlier this week, it's, for me at least, it's not the traditional look anyway. It's weird. I know it's been here for 4 full seasons now, but it just something's off about that garnet home uniform. So I'm good with it.
I'll tell you what, I love the roadies, the road uniforms.
That's fine. Those roadies are nice.
They're beautiful, damn it. They're beautiful. Also, I should note, and it's interesting because this is a question that actually is warranted given that we live in Tallahassee, Florida, and it is the summertime, if you will. But the question was, which team is less affected in the event of rain or a sloppy, wet field come Monday night? That from Mike. Thanks, Mike. #A-hole. I don't think we'll be affected all that much because, once again, I'll reiterate, they want to run the football.
Hashtag a-hole.
So, I think if you're going to run more than you're going to pass, you feel pretty good about doing that in the rain, sloppy field or not, you'll be all right.
I would maybe on defense, given that linebackers is that's where you're a little weak. You might want to be fortified at that level if it's going to be rainy and something
That's
between the
tackles. That's always a hard prediction anyhow, by the way. Every day you go to practice, you practice. Most of these teams have indoor facilities now or practice facilities, so if it gets too inclement, they go in there. They're practicing in dry conditions. Most teams aren't in a situation where they've had an overabundance of reps in the pouring rain. It's always it's a kind of a crapshoot. I mean, I understand stylistically and strategically teams that run certain kinds of offenses centered around just 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Traditionally, you would say have an advantage in sloppy conditions and the weather being inclement. And if you're a team that likes to spread it out and chuck it all over the lot, wind and snow and rain inhibits your ability to do that to some extent. But again, I think this is a run-first offense. They want to run the ball primarily. Getting a read on who would have an advantage if it's a sloppy field is, guesswork, frankly. I don't know. I tend to think us because I think Josh Jackson's a pretty good thrower of the football. I don't think they have a great running game, so they're going to probably try to throw quite a bit. And
if the crowd noise is on your side, intangibles take over in a situation like that. You'd rather have fewer things to worry about. Communication would be something Virginia Tech would have to worry about in a hailstorm. Or whatever it is that we get this time of day, which, it's been happening outdoors. How many shows in a row now? Like 3, 4 shows in a row?
15.
I'm surprised, knock on wood, we haven't lost power yet.
It is kind of crazy that we haven't. You know what else is crazy? The comfort of MyPillow. My goodness, do I love MyPillow. You can keep the music rolling. It's a nice lullaby. So I get you set up to get you MyPillow cheap like. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 4-pack special, enter the promo code 97.ESPN. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows. Woohoo! 2 Go Anywhere pillows for half off. That works for me. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 4-pack special, enter the promo code 97.ESPN. By the way, the number 800, that was awkward, 944-6596. 800-944-6596. Use the promo code. Doesn't matter what the offer is. The promo code is going to save you money. MyPillow.com, promo code 97.ESPN.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Check in at Mike's Marine Supply for the spring specials starting soon. Located at 1296 Coastal Highway, Panacea, Florida, call Mike's Marine at 984-5637. Online at mikesmarinetallahassee.com.
Bags to catch, Touchdown FSU!
The 2018 Seminoles football home opener versus Virginia Tech is approaching fast. Single game tickets are on sale now. Be there to witness the fastest offense we have seen in Garnet and Gold. And fittingly, be present to see Peter Warwick join FSU royalty as his jersey gets retired against the familiar foe. Tickets start at $65, and you can pick your exact seat on Seminoles.com. Get yours today. Do something and be there September 3rd in Doak Campbell Stadium.
Touchdown FSU! Touchdown Florida State!
Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Calling all golfers. Labor Day is your last chance to save huge this summer at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with deals in every department this Friday through Labor Day. Trade in your old clubs and get a 50% bonus trade-in value towards your new Callaway Rogue purchase. Pick up a dozen Titleist prior generation NXT Tour or NXT Tour S golf balls for just $24.99 and save 10, 15, or even 20% on apparel. The more you spend, the more you save. Don't miss these deals and more. 4 days only at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Home with a 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Open on Labor Day.
Wahoo Seafood Grill, Tallahassee's leader in fresh seafood, is located right behind the Best Western on North Monroe. Lunch specials start at $7.99. Be sure to try their award-winning house-made burger. Big lunch parties are also welcome. Wahoo Seafood Grill makes lunch specials a very affordable choice. Delivery is available and plenty of parking. Wahoo Seafood Grill, easy access from any part of town using I-10. Visit them online at wahooseafoodgrill.com or call them today at 850-629-4059.
Here, do you need headsets?
I don't need no stinking headsets.
Well, then go. Come on, man.
All right. Hi there, Tallahassee. You know me. This is Eddie. You know, I have other restaurants in this town, Gordo's, Banditos. Well, I opened up something new. It's called Bumpa's Local 349. You may ask, what is Bumpa's Local 349? It was named after my grandfather. Bumpa. It's what we called him. Best man I ever knew. And the Local 349 was his union. And I try to bring this local flavor, this local flair of Tallahassee. I want to bring it to you, locally owned and operated. Warm, good food.
Good Lord, man, we're getting all weepy up in here. It's a cool sports pub. It's got TVs everywhere. You got every package. You got a gazillion kinds of beers and delicious food and a deck. We don't need to weep up in here. Come on, Eddie.
And we have 16 local Florida taps. Great craft beer just for you. And the best bologna sandwich you'll ever eat. It's like you just won the lotto. As Bumpa said, no matter how you cut it, it's still bologna.
Bumpa's Local, 349-2738, Capitol Circle, Northeast.
At Discover, we believe anniversaries should be a time of celebration, not obligation. That's why we think annual fees are ridiculous. And now, just for giving us a try, we're going to give new card members a one-year anniversary gift they'll never forget. At the end of your first year, we'll match all the cash back you've earned dollar for dollar. No caps and no catches, because we know if you try us, you'll like us. And that's worth every penny. Try it and believe it at discover.com/match. Cashback match offer only for new card members. Limitations apply.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers gets a record-breaking 4-year, $134 million contract extension with the Packers.
What they wanted to do was they wanted to have this deal in place before training camp. And I think there was some disappointment from Aaron Rodgers that it was not done at that point in time. I think if you read between the lines and just heard the tone of his voice, I don't think he was overly pleased that it wasn't done.
Adam Schefter on the Stephen A. Smith Show. The Packers also trade quarterback Brett Hundley to the Seahawks for a 2019 draft pick, meaning DeShone Kizer will be the backup for Rodgers. More NFL news from Adam. The Jets trade quarterback Teddy Bridgewater to the Saints. Browns linebacker Michael Kendricks charged with insider trading. The U.S. attorney says Kendricks allegedly made a $1.2 million profit from insider trading 4 years ago.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Not surprising to see Aaron Rodgers get paid. He does, and he should. Imagine if they bothered to surround him with some talent. Dude gets Green Bay to the playoffs every year with nothing.
Be interesting to see what kind of year Jimmy Graham has now that he's back with a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's in Green Bay.
Yeah, but I mean, Jimmy was with a good quarterback in Seattle.
That offense, though, they asked him to do, a lot of blocking and things that aren't associated with being a dominant receiving tight end. And they got to about week 6 or week 7 last year. I remember Sunday Night Football, they said they're going to change the concentration of what he does. He ended up with 9 or 10 touchdowns by the end of the season, but it was bad in the beginning. It's what's happened to Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, he was really frustrated. Record-breaking 4-year, $134 million extension that could be worth up to $180 million in total money for Aaron Rodgers. He's expected to sign that deal today. According to Adam Schefter, it would run through 2023 when Aaron Rodgers turns 40 years old. That extension, I should say, includes nearly a $103 million guarantee. Good God, man. An average value of $33.5 million, which, again, if you're going to talk about guys within that world, right, the money's huge for your frontline players at the quarterback position in particular. He's the best in the business.
So real quick on Jimmy Graham, if you're looking for fantasy value, right, as that a lot of people are doing their drafts this weekend.
Mine is tonight while I'm in the middle of doing a golf show.
It always is.
Always.
Whether it was the Man Cave.
My league has decided to screw me every year.
Every year.
Wow,
that's incredible.
It sucks.
That's like a 5-6 year run you're
It's
on.
wrong. I forgot to tell Matthew he's doing the draft for me tonight.
Well, now he knows.
There you go.
Right
buddy.
on these airwaves.
Good thing he does the show.
If you look at the targets for Jimmy Graham, when he was in New Orleans, right, and he had established himself by 2011, targets 149, 135, 142, 125. And that was the last year he started 13 out of 16 games. In Seattle, 74, 95, and 96. They just didn't target him. They plainly didn't. And last year, which was crazy, I mean, you look at this number, 96 targets, he only caught 57 passes. Mm-hmm. So when they threw it to him, Russell was either running for his life or whatever. I mean, those targets have to go through the roof. I don't think Jimmy Graham is done from a production standpoint because now he's got the guy in the league.
Well, and yeah, it is the guy. And I you know what? Very few players that play for teams that I don't care about. I mean, the Packers are as tradition-laden as they come in the NFL. So to some degree, if you care at all about the NFL and its history, then you kind of care about the Packers a little bit. You know what I mean? Again, in certain ways, you don't think anything about, say, the Tennessee Titans. I mean, who really gives a damn about the Tennessee Titans?
Right.
Who cares about teams like that? There are several of them. But everybody kind of has a weird sense of ownership, even if they don't root for the team, of the Packers. So I bring that up to say that there are few people that play for teams that aren't in my division, don't affect my favorite team head-to-head, don't really have anything for me to pay attention to because it tugs at my heartstrings, that make me want to watch them, that I will specifically decide I'm going to tune in because I want to see him. Some people would say Odell Beckham Jr., for example, is a player like that. A lot of times that player is a running back because there are dynamic running backs. Like, you really love to watch certain running backs over the years, even if they're not yours. When McPherson was right, guys like that, fun to watch him run the football.
Yeah, Peterson.
What did I say?
Adrian, well, you're thinking Adrian for Adrian.
Florida State. Yeah,
I got it in your mind there.
There you go. You're like, where's he going? Yeah, Peterson. You're right.
I hate watch McCaffrey, because I want to be right about that. But he's off to
a good player.
A rousing start. The irony, and nobody gives a damn about somebody else's fantasy football, but because we've had that discussion specifically, the irony is in the playoffs last year, my league, we redrafted once you get into the playoffs with the playoff rosters.
Yeah.
and I lost my semifinal game
because somebody had him
on the Cam Newton-McCaffrey 50, 60-yard bomb.
Huge play.
With little to no time to go in that game. But the other guy had McCaffrey. So
you're watching that go, you son of a...
So
I hate you
not
even more
only
now I dislike you even more.
Now he doesn't even know, but he just in my face right there. There it is.
I still laugh because I got to see up close and personal the greatest comeback victory for one of your opponents in the history of fantasy football.
Fantasy history.
Michael Vick's 60-plus point night.
Oh.
And the nightmares just kept coming because at first, I've told the story so many times. We were at the corner pocket, and you're like, well, I'm winning, going away. I mean, Vic would have to do something crazy tonight.
I think I've pulled this box score up probably 12 times on the air.
Because it automatically comes up?
I'm going to do it again, but yeah.
But every time I think about how it played out, and it started off, obviously, the way that it would have to for you to get caught and get beat. But he comes out like gangbusters. And he's making plays with his legs and his, and his arm. And there's one big play after the next, and the point total is rising. And it's at 20 and 25. And you're like, well, I mean, he's got to score 60 points. I mean, I'm going to be okay. And then somewhere in the middle of the third quarter, I'm like, Tom, this is not good, man.
No, the guy had Deshaun Jackson, too, that night.
Oh.
And Vic went for, I should just memorize these
so
I could have them.
Because it's absurd.
He went 20 for 28, whatever. But for 333 and 4 scores, you get bonuses in my league for long touchdowns, one of which was an 88-yard bomb to Deshaun Jackson, who the guy had, daily double my ass. And Deshaun had 2 catches, 98 yards, and a score. But Vic also had 8 carries for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. So 6 total touchdowns, one of which was Deshaun Jackson.
He just got his 60-plus points on you.
Oh, my. And you know what? That was in 2010. So we've been going to the corner pocket to watch football now going on 10 years. It's crazy.
And that moment is etched in memory, and it causes me to smile every time. You handled it like a champ, though. I remember at some point you just kind of got to a place where you thought it's a foregone conclusion. I'm going to lose this game. He's at 50 points and got an entire fourth quarter to play. They're not stopping him. It's ridiculous.
Well, and you guys got out the container of salt and just dumped it all over my open wound because you got me in a little game that we play called the Game of Life.
Yeah.
That was the same night.
Yeah.
You guys just piled it on.
Oh, we were having a blast.
Oh, man.
At that point, I was telling you, just leave your keys here and go all in, Tom. It's going to be a tough night, man. You're losing it across the board.
It's like a kicking a hobo when you're walking by him.
It was horrible.
That's what I felt like.
I'm laughing today looking at this contract and noting that the quote-unquote accolade that is highest paid player in the NFL, which obviously gets trumped every time the next quarterback gets a contract. But, it has since passed from Rodgers to Andrew Luck. Think of these names on this list, by the way. It's gone from Rodgers initially to Andrew Luck to Joe freaking Flacco, who bet on himself and came up big.
He did.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Matthew Stafford. Jimmy Garoppolo. Dude's played for like an hour. Matt Ryan, and now back to Rodgers. That's how this has all worked. It's Rodgers, Luck. Okay, the Luck thing you could see. You'd go, okay.
He was trending in the right direction, and he was all they had.
Yeah. So Rodgers, Luck, Flacco, the combo of Flacco-Carr. No. Followed by Stafford-Garoppolo, which is I see your Flacco-Carr, and I'll raise you Stafford Garoppolo.
The Stafford one, I understand. The dude throws for 5,000 yards if he's healthy.
Yeah, offense is what it is, but he doesn't beat anybody who's any good ever.
He does,
no.
but yeah,
Detroit doesn't do a damn thing. They got like one time, and they've made the playoffs, and the entire time he's been there.
They got screwed that year. That was the year that Dez got screwed in Green Bay. And the week before, Detroit got screwed on a PI call that was probably out of Jerry Jones' box. They just threw the yellow flag onto the field. But, no, I mean, it's not his fault. He's thrown for 4,000 or 5,000 yards every single year if he's healthy. I mean, everything else is kind of a mess.
A lot of people do now. But I'm just saying that number isn't what it once was. I agree.
Well, he devalued the number by doing it over and over. It's him and Brees.
Well, and also that one year you had 2 different people throwing for over 5,000 yards. I began to say, we may be living in an era in which offense is catered to. I mean, those numbers became ridiculous.
Indeed. The cost of losing him, though, is why they paid that contract. That's the problem. You would have had to go get McCown or Glennon or something.
I get it. I get how these guys become the highest paid player, but when it's not representative or commiserate to their talent is when I go, now, hold on a second. But I get it, because searching for quarterbacks sucks. If you have a franchise guy, that's why some of these guys, let's just be fair and be honest. The Bucs aren't going to move on from Jameis Winston, short of him being charged with an actual crime and maybe going to jail, because it's hard to find franchise quarterbacks. And when they reveal to you that they are indeed at the very least that, and their place can be argued amongst that group, that very select group that you would categorize as such, that's fine. But once you recognize you have one, you're sticking with them. And so, yeah, you're right. I mean, Stafford's a franchise quarterback.
He is.
His place amongst the elite franchise quarterbacks lower on the rung.
Sure. And he's only gotten better, though, as he's gotten older. It's an interesting, if you just look at completion percentage, because his yards per attempt is always quite a healthy number. But last year, he completed 65% of his passes, threw for 29 touchdowns against 10 picks at an average yards per attempt of 7.9. I mean, those are incredible numbers. Very forgettable because, they went mediocre 9-7 and missed the playoffs, which is what they do. He's made the playoffs 3 times in his career, and he one and done's each time.
They never won anything.
Well, they can't get a yard. If it's 3rd and 1, they're screwed. That's like the one situation. They're kryptonite.
Yeah.
Red zone too.
Jimmy Garoppolo, huh?
Agreed there. Although he might be good.
I think he's going to be really good, but I mean, I'd like to see it. Goodness gracious.
Belichick saying, greatest quarterback of all time.
Matt Ryan on this list makes sense, too. I mean, I know you think he's overhyped, but he's won games. I mean, they went to the damn Super Bowl, and their coaches screwed them.
I think Jalen Ramsey had a point on that one, You got Julio Jones. How is it you have
You're picking and choosing when you love Jalen's points, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson should not have been the second quarterback off the board.
It's a ridiculous statement, Jalen. Stop it. It's just absurd.
Oh, I mean, he's like Baker. Why? Because they can both scramble?
Because they can scramble. Yeah, he's using a reverse stereotype, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, but it's not true. It's ridiculous. By the way, if you've watched, and I have because I'm addicted to that show, even when I don't care about the team or the people involved, if you're watching Hard Knocks, damn it, man, they're making you like the Cleveland Browns, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
I mean, you like a lot of those guys when you watch that show. I do.
How about Kajus, the backup tight end?
Yeah, the backup tight end out there committing penalties in the end zone and everything else.
Right.
For one episode, but he's rising.
His dad's had multiple heart attacks.
Yeah,
I mean, that is
there's good storylines there. They've even made Baker Mayfield somewhat likable.
Somewhat.
They have, though. You can't deny that. You watch it, you're like, okay.
Well, when in the first episode where Baker doesn't show up early and Hugh basically delivers a very neatly passive-aggressive message of, Tyrod's in here doing a workout. Where's your workout?
Mm-hmm.
And then he responds, at the beginning I thought, good, yeah, that's right, he is a child. And now he's there early in the mornings and he's got a command of the offense.
Well, that's the thing that stands out about it. He's smart.
Well, and the other thing that stands out is when he's practicing, good on good, and you see the players on the sidelines, and they cut to their reactions. They go, "Whoa, Baker, that's a throw." When NFL players are on the sideline saying, "Whoa, what the hell is that?" Yeah.
Well, and they get real vocal when they see it too. They get excited, like, "Oh, we might have something." Here's the only thing that I also will say about that show as I watch it, and whether you're watching guys like,
Jarvis Landry,
Myles Garrett, or anybody else. At the end of the day, even Carl Nassib is fun to watch. But one thing I will say is Hugh Jackson ain't going to get it done, man. Every time I watch that show, I go, well, they may have what they need, except for at head coach. He strikes me as lost. There's once an episode that you go, come on, Hugh.
I think a Myles Garrett-Trent Williams fight would cause an earthquake to the point where electricity would not be possible anymore.
Willie Taggart, the interview I did with him, the Pepsi coach's interview that I did with him earlier this morning will be coming up for you in the next hour, 5:15, 5:12, somewhere in there. If I can just shut it down, get you in and out of that first segment, we'll get you to Willie Taggart momentarily. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the Corner Pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Are you tired of getting the same two-piece kits? Cornerstone Tool & Fastener and DeWalt have your answer. Buy a 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit with 2 4-amp-hour batteries and receive a free 1/4-inch 3-speed impact kit. That's correct. You get 2 DeWalt 3-speed impact kits for the price of 1, only at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. While you're there, check out the power of freedom. FlexVolt 60-volt tools from chainsaws to string trimmers, blowers, and even compressors. Cornerstone has the largest DeWalt selection in Tallahassee, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
Hey, I'm Jeff Doxey, Realtor for Capital Property Consultants, representing Premier Fine Homes. If you're thinking of owning your own brand new Premier home, call or text me at 850-545-4747 or email me, jeffdoxey1@gmail.com. You say where, I'll be there. Your Canopy Connection.
Bags to catch. Touchdown FSU.
The 2018 Seminoles football home opener versus Virginia Tech is approaching fast. Single game tickets are on sale now. Be there to witness the fastest offense we have seen in Garnet and Gold. And fittingly, be present to see Peter Warrick join FSU royalty as his jersey gets retired against the familiar foe. Tickets start at $65, and you can pick your exact seat on Seminoles.com. Get yours today. Do something and be there September 3rd in Doak Campbell Stadium.
Touchdown FSU. Touchdown Florida State.
At Discover, we believe anniversaries should be a time of celebration, not obligation. That's why we think annual fees are ridiculous. And now, just for giving us a try, we're going to give new card members a 1-year anniversary gift they'll never forget. At the end of your first year, we'll match all the cash back you've earned dollar for dollar. No caps and no catches, because we know if you try us, you'll like us. And that's worth every penny. Try it and believe it at discover.com/match. Cashback match offer only for new card members. Limitations apply.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio. WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news from ESPN's Adam Schefter. Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers gets a record-breaking 4-year, $134 million contract extension with the Packers.
What they wanted to do was they wanted to have this deal in place before training camp. And I think there was some disappointment from Aaron Rodgers that it was not done at that point in time. I think if you read between the lines and just heard the tone of his voice, I don't think he was overly pleased that it wasn't done.
Adam Schefter on the Stephen A. Smith Show. The Packers also trade quarterback Brett Hundley to the Seahawks for a 2019 draft pick, meaning DeShone Kizer will be the backup for Rodgers. More NFL news from Adam. The Jets trade quarterback Teddy Bridgewater to the Saints. Browns linebacker Michael Kendricks charged with insider trading. The U.S. attorney says Kendricks allegedly made a $1.2 million profit from insider trading 4 years ago.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
For today, I thank you for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We are online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. If you do miss something, don't forget we post the show, all 3 hours of it, in fact, upon the conclusion of the program. Every day we do that, both to iTunes and our own audio vault. You can email the show if you like. It's JCS at 979 ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. The WTSM app, good for your mobile devices. We're on YouTube as well. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Hello, YouTubers, ESPN Tallahassee. Hello, Periscopers on Twitter at 979 ESPN Radio. Willie Taggart set to join us. If you missed it in the 3 o'clock hour or you didn't hear some of the audio. Have we posted audio today, Tom? I can't remember.
Yeah, I posted that audio to give
a little taste, a little sliver.
Well, and frankly, to give us a chance to let the other media outlets grab some headlines before Willie spoke at noon. So we decided to help our friends.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not about great exposure for us. It's about helping our friends. I agree.
There it is.
But it's actually about helping us because we're the only ones who get that scoop, so we should utilize it, and we do. I enjoyed talking with Willie. I did, and you're going to like the conversation that you hear in a few minutes. That's our coach's Pepsi interview, the Pepsi coaches interview, if you will. Will be coming up here shortly. It's a short intro here because Andy Bitter going to join us from The Athletic. Andy Bitter used to be with the Roanoke Times, covered Virginia Tech for years, I think about 7 years now, and he moved over to The Athletic like a lot of talented writers have. Looking to do good journalism, and it's the for-pay model, but it's worth it. Both Tom and I subscribe. You'd think I'd work for The Athletic or something. But
no, it's good, though.
It is good. And he works for them, writes for them, and has covered Virginia Tech, I said, obviously, for some time now. He'll join us later in the hour. I want to get the feel for what's going on in Blacksburg, which, by the way, I think is that of uncertainty. I think, obviously, they're a talented team, and they've got a poised, strong-arm, good kid at quarterback who's smart. But, you know, they're lacking in some areas. And I was stunned. In preparation for the interview that we're going to do later this hour, Tom, I actually read his piece on The Athletic, and I'll just say this. I did not know that Virginia Tech had really ceased to run the ball effectively for 6 years.
I think I remember an article or two about that, but that was years ago, and I wouldn't have figured it continued, especially given that Fuente got there. He's an offensive mind, and Virginia Tech has made some noise in the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, I was just very surprised. You remember how good David Wilson was? He bolted to the NFL early after his 2011 season.
Yep.
They haven't done a damn thing since he rode out.
Well, and I think it's totally understandable for Knowles, because last time we faced him was 2012. You know, and that was the E.J. Manuel night and to Rashad Green. But Virginia Tech, when Fuente came on the scene, they played one ACC title game. They didn't make the other, but they play a lot of primetime games for the ACC. Even though they didn't win any of the big ones last year, you think of them as still kind of a big
always
name.
Kind of out there, yeah.
The Miami game was a big one. They got their doors blown off.
Blown out.
Clemson one was a big one. They got their doors blown
off.
Blown out. Right. There's a pattern there, but you would think given you have an offensive mind. Can I complete it?
Yeah.
Yes. That you would think running game, excuse me. Totally flustered by your blown out sound drop.
They're gonna get blown out.
That is an outstanding drop that I'm going to have to isolate. And I think I should have just laughed it off rather than trying to fight the laugh because now I've got mushy brain.
Blown out. The Libations Friday Fest is coming and coming soon. It will be this Sunday, the 7th annual Jeff Cameron Show Libations Friday Fest, Sunday edition. September the 2nd from 4 to 7:30. We want to see you there. Let's go. Get off your ass.
It'll be a
blowout.
There it is.
Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachian Parkway. That's where you're going to be. The giveaway list is long. There was a joke there. Free for everyone while supplies last. Enjoy your first beer on Fan Retreat. Thank you, Fan Retreat. Don't mind if I do. All you have to do is head to fanretreat.com, sign up for a free account, and, quote, join our event, which you can find on the homepage under Popular Retreats. T-shirts, courtesy of Full Press Apparel. Thank you, Full Press Apparel. Thank you to everybody I'm about to list here. Koozies from B&B Sporting Goods. The Crown Royal team, thank you too, team. I appreciate you being out there. I might partake in a little Crown Royal, Tom. Might do it.
Well, it's a sample.
I would do it. Yeah.
Is there a sample that caught your eye there? Would it be the apple or
like
the vanilla?
Plain Crown Royal, like the straight-up old-school Crown Royal. Yeah, just
heavy
crown.
as the head.
Yeah, that wears the
that
crown.
enjoys
indeed.
the crown.
Yeah, nicely done. Free to everyone while supplies last. We'll give you a ticket. We'll give you a ticket to the end of the night raffle. That raffle is really, really bountiful.
Supplies will last for those tickets. Everybody who comes in, you'll get one.
Garnet and Gold's giving away a Nike FSU coaches polo and an authentic FSU football jersey. Killearn Country Club giving away a round of golf for two of those. In fact, Bumpa's Local 3494, $25 gift cards. Butch Bundy, my man, the head pro there at Killearn, giving away a 3 minutes would be cold-hearted. Now hold the club. Okay, time's up. Good talking to you.
So the key here, this is the top of your backswing, and I can't stress this enough.
Time is up.
Whoop. That's it.
Yeah. You want another 3 minutes? Throw some money on the table.
$50.
Warchant.com, 1-year subscription. Cigar City and Oscar Blues giving away beer. Frequency XP. Go get your in shape on. Fitness, that's right. 4 free guided workout package, value of 100 bones. Games for less. Tasty pastry. Hooters. Metro Deli. The Deck Pizza Pub, which isn't even open yet. It's going to kick ass once it does. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. All that goodness, and then we flip on the tube to watch LSU and Miami at 7:30 together as friends, brothers, and sisters. Together. Celebrating the return of football on a Libations Friday Fest. Willie Taggart, the Pepsi coach's interview. He joins me next. Stay tuned.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Supplies. See storejcp.com for details.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's the Labor Day sale at Ace, which means it's the perfect time to buy a grill from our exclusive lineup of premium brands, including Weber, Traeger, and more. Right now, get the right grill at the right price delivered right to your door. Now through Labor Day, hurry in and save $50 on select Weber Spirit grills. Plus, get free assembly and delivery on any grill $3.99 and up, only at Ace. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members only through September 3rd. Store stock only. See participating store for scheduling and details.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. Those 60 cents have been freeloading a ride in me for weeks now. I really don't want to be seen like this. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. It's beneath me. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round. round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand, all snug and secure where it won't tip over or roll under your seat or get hot in the sun. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. That's what pockets are for. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting events? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
I give to you easy laundry service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events, and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with easy laundry service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's easy laundry service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio, also Sirius XM Channel 84. Hey, look, it's the time, right? Here we go. And I always love this time of year. I know all of you do too, but I know it's football season when I start my coaches' interviews, and this is going to be a first, at least for us, with Willie Taggart as the head man at Florida State. Coach, first of all, thanks so much for your time, and happy belated birthday. I know we were just talking off the air about that. I know you had a good one, and you got to be pumped. You got to be excited. It's go time.
Oh, yes, sir. It's all gas, no brakes from here on. So looking forward to it, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was thinking about this, and what a cool moment it is. Everything you've done as a player and as a coach, and I suppose as a man, has led you to this moment. And I know you're a cool customer, but I have to imagine maybe the good kind of butterflies hit you when you think about coaching your first game at Doak as the head man at Florida State on Monday night.
Oh, yeah, it's going to hit me hard. Trying to prepare myself for that and make sure. The one thing I want to make sure that I don't trip and fall as we run out of the tunnel. So kicked up, so make sure that I still look athletic as I run out of there.
Yeah, you lose style points if
right.
you bust it.
But it's going to be great. Just getting out there with the guys. They've been working really hard, and to get in Doak Campbell and feel the excitement in the stadium. It's going to be really good against a very good football team.
You know, it's not too often you hear a coach say after a scrimmage that it was, quote-unquote, awesome. And you seemed very pleased with what you saw in the final scrimmage. And I'm curious why. What was it you saw that elicited that response?
Well, the thing that I look at when we in the scrimmage, of course, efficiency on both sides of the ball and special teams. And I thought we got a lot of that. But more importantly, I thought our guys fought back when we had our last scrimmage, and offense started off really strong, and defense just didn't give in to that. They made some adjustment and came back and made it a better scrimmage, and then offense fought back too. It's kind of back and forth, which was good to see.
Has Coach Barnett remarked about how different it is for him going up against tempo every day in practice? Maybe that's not the right way to phrase it, but it is different than obviously what they faced on a daily basis at Michigan State. And reports out of scrimmage say the offense saw final couple of weeks surge, if you will. And I guess How true is that, and does that excite you or concern you, what you've seen, from both sides in the battle?
It excites me because our guys are starting to understand what we're doing on the offense side of the ball, especially the young guys. I mean, we have a lot of young guys on the side of the ball, and they're starting to understand it, and you're starting to get a synergy among the offensive guys, and it's good to see, especially as you go into the season. And it don't concern me about our defense, because we put them in a lot of tough situations, and it's tough on any defense when some of the situations we put them in, But I think our defense has made our offense so much better, and us going up against them. I think we have one of the better defensive linemen lying out there, and it's preparing our offensive line really well for the season.
I'm curious, Coach, in your experience implementing this kind of an offense, what's the most difficult aspect to teach and for kids to learn in order to play the way you want to play?
Well, I think the tempo part of it, just going fast, and you got to think. You got to think fast, and it can't be a lot of thinking because of the tempo, and guys understanding when and why we're doing what we're doing. But I think more of the tempo. So many. I mean, these guys played in a no huddle offense, so everything came from the huddle and kind of jogged to the line and kind of ran the play. Now it's running to the line. It's no huddle. It's looking over. It's setting the signal, and now I got to go play. I got to see the defense, the front, really fast, and then got to go.
I know this week you announced, obviously, that Deondre Francois is your starting quarterback. For people listening around the country and curious about the offseason that Deondre had, I know you set goals for him and expectations for him, both as a young man and as a quarterback and as a leader, which by definition you have to be at that position. It's also a position you played. He's met all of those. I'm kind of paraphrasing you, but and then some. Talk about what went into that decision, and obviously I think it's kind of a celebration for a young man to take a step forward and learn from maybe previous mistakes and mature.
Well, absolutely, and DeAndre's done everything we asked of him. He's taken ownership in everything that's happened with him, and he's handled the consequences that we've had for him here within the program, and he's been everything we've been wanting from him since then, and for him to decide to move back on campus to be around his teammates, and I see him around them more often. He's smiling more often. He's talking more often. It's really neat to see him grow from that standpoint. And then just from a football standpoint, just for him to come in training camp and just watching our offense, how it moves efficiently when he's in there, and him taking care of the football, it was pretty neat to see.
And for anybody that knows the young man, nobody is surprised to see that James Blackman, and I suppose also Bailey Hockman, took the news well. And James even stating publicly that it's okay. I'm going to be there for him. He was there for me, and I'm going to be the best team that I could be. So it's always good when you have a heated battle and competition to get that response when one of the guys doesn't win that battle.
I mean, James, that's James Blackman, but I want to make sure that I let you know James was disappointed, and that's just him being the competitor that he is. And James is going to be a great football player, and James, he also understands him that he's got to be ready, just like last year when DeAndre went down and he was thrown into the fire, and Bailey understand it too. I mean, just watching these guys compete throughout training camp, I mean, it was fun to see, to be honest with you. And it was a good problem to have, and at the end of the day, we had to pick a guy, and we felt DeAndre would be the best guy for us.
Some of the chatter coming out of camp that I think is exciting for Florida State fans has been the play, perhaps from folks that maybe they didn't anticipate hearing from or getting immediate contributions from, guys like Anthony Grant that you've mentioned. And I know you singled out Warren Thompson the other day, and guys like Trayshawn Harrison. And I know earlier in camp, Keyshawn Helton stood out. These have all been guys that have been mentioned. How much do you anticipate playing the freshmen?
Those guys are making plays every single day, and we're going to put our good players on the football field, and those guys are earning the respect of their teammates and making plays for us. And the guys that can make plays and earn that respect and earn those reps, they're going to play for us. I think you'll see a few freshmen out there playing for us.
You sounded more confident on Monday that Dontavius Jackson would be ready to go for the opener. I guess I want to ask you about him and Stanford Samuels at this point. Is that still the case? You feel good about Dontavius, and is Stanford going to be able to give it a go on Monday night?
Yeah, I feel good. Dontavius practiced yesterday. He came out and practiced yesterday, and then Stanford was running around and went through individual with us. So I feel good about both of those guys.
Any week one concerns for Cole Minshew?
Cole, hopefully he can play for us. There's a really good chance.
Okay. One couple last things here, Coach, and I'll let you move on here. I know we've seen in practice how you let Walt Bell do his job instructing and coordinating the offense. Coach Bell's been clear, though, in saying that his game day week job will be to make your job, usually on Saturdays, in this case Monday, just the way you want it. But now that it's actually game week, how does your game, I guess give me some insight into your game plan meetings and what do they look and sound like generally?
Well, we all sit in the meeting and we're watching film and together as an offensive group, and we all discuss what we're trying to do, how we want to attack a defense, and the plays we want to run, and how we want to go about doing it. And each coach have a certain area of the game that he's an expert at, and we all come together and kind of put the game plan together and go from there.
I'd be remiss, but fans love it. Uniform talk, Coach.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't let you off without asking you about it. I get asked about it 400 times a day, so I'm gonna go ahead and deflect it to you, and we'll see if I can get you to bite. What combo have you decided on for the opener? And if so, I guess, will you release your plan for each game before the season starts or on a specific day of game week? How are you going to go about it?
Yes, we're actually going to release it every Monday.
Okay.
Of game week, and so everyone will know what we're wearing. It will be different, but we're still going to have our tradition and what we do. But it'll be fun, It'll be fun, and I think
it is fun. Fans love it. Kids love it. I mean, you got to love it, right?
Oh, absolutely. It'll be fun, and we all love it when we're winning. So if we don't win, then it won't be good at all.
Hey, Coach, it's always a pleasure. Good luck, and I'll talk to you throughout the year, and best of luck to you.
Hey, thank you very much, and go Noles.
All right, take care. That's Willie Taggart, head coach, Florida State University, making his debut and making time for us on the Jeff Cameron Show, which I appreciate. We'll have that interview for you all season long, and he's a fun guy to talk to. I talked to him off the air before we went on with the interview, and he's as relaxed as you could be. I can't imagine that there aren't moments where you just stop in your tracks and think, I'm the head coach at Florida State, and I'm about to coach my first game and run out of that tunnel at Doak Campbell Stadium with a nation watching, all eyes on me and this team and this university and this program. Maybe you can't afford to look at it like that because you got so much to prepare for, but he seems pretty relaxed, given that he's a guy about to do just that. It's Jeff Cameron Show 97.9 ESPN Radio. Are you tired?
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
CAC 05752.
Come out and try Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers, located in Tallahassee on 1818 West Tennessee Street and 2550 North Monroe Street. Guthrie's is a family-owned and operated restaurant, proudly in business for over 50 years. Since Guthrie's first introduced their chicken fingers in 1978, everybody's been falling hard for those golden fried chicken fingers, crispy fries, buttery Texas toast, creamy coleslaw, and of course, the signature sauce. So come out and try it yourself at either one of Guthrie's Tallahassee locations.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
At Discover, we believe anniversaries should be a time of celebration, not obligation. That's why we think annual fees are ridiculous. And now, just for giving us a try, we're going to give new card members a one-year anniversary gift they'll never forget. At the end of your first year, we'll match all the cash back you've earned dollar for dollar. No caps and no catches, because we know if you try us, you'll like us. And that's worth every penny. Try it and believe it at discover.com/match. Cashback match offer only for new card members. Limitations apply.
Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song about the Name Your Price tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, 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 and the trombone goes, blah, 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 and you say, we'll help you find coverage options to fit your budget. Then we just all do finger snaps while a choir goes, savings coming at ya, savings coming at ya. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see you at practice tonight. I got new lyrics for the rap break.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This is Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. If hail or debris from the recent storm did damage to your vehicle, contact Seminole Glass today at 850-539-4527. We'll take care of everything for you with mobile service and a lifetime warranty. We're in network with your insurance, and it's your choice. So choose the local company you know and trust. Seminole Auto Glass, 850-539-4527 or at SeminoleAutoGlass.com, because no one takes care of your car like Seminole Auto Glass.
What's up, Jeff? How you doing today, bro?
Glorious. I thought it would never end. Interminable summer. Now here we are at the precipice of football.
It is indemitable. We get to sing songs and have fun outside.
Sing songs? I've never sung a song at a football game. You're singing?
Oh, we sing all the time. It's great.
The football I watch, we're yelling like gladiators for our team to win big.
Look, all I know is Friday night, under the lights, it is fantastic.
Fridays. Saturdays, Eddie. Football is played on Saturdays. What are you talking about?
For a sports talk show host, you really don't know a lot about sports.
Eddie, we're talking football.
Yes, Jeff. Football.
No, football, Eddie. American football. Football. Say football.
Football.
Eddie, say foot.
Foot.
Ball.
Ball.
Football.
Football.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996. Try to be a redneck. Football.
Football, you all.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. All right, so we switch gears. We go from hearing from Willie Taggart, and I talked to him this morning, and now we'll get the perspective of the Virginia Tech side. Andy Bitter covers them for The Athletic. By the way, later in the week and also in the pregame show, you'll hear my conversation both with Justin Fuente, who I talked to at ACC Kickoff, and Josh Jackson, who I also spoke to, of course, the starting quarterback for the Hokies. You'll hear both those interviews as the week unfolds. But in the interim, let's talk to Andy Bitter, who covers this team and does so for The Athletic, and he joins us now on the Jeff Cameron Show. Andy, thanks for your time. I appreciate you joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm eager for the season to actually get underway here.
Yeah, you and me both. I think that speaks to all of us college football starved fans that are ready for this thing to get going, and now it finally does in earnest. And, of course, this is one of the better matchups of that opening weekend in prime time with the nation watching. These two teams have the stage to themselves. And, I just alluded to the fact that I talked to Coach Fuente up in Charlotte this summer, and I got to tell you, and I want to get your perspective on this. We'll go big picture stuff here early on before we look at the actual personnel. he sounded like a guy that wasn't defeated, but I'm not sure he was in love with the idea of this game. And it kind of struck me as odd because he's a confident and great coach, and I've always enjoyed talking to him. He just seemed like he was seriously, I think, stressed by the offseason that the Hokies have had. I guess, can you give me your take on the way he's kind of been in camp and the way that he's viewed this game?
I think he's been sort of how he's always been. I don't think he's, Mr. Sunshine and overly optimistic about anything. That's just sort of his nature. We've asked him about this specific game, and I think he would prefer not to have a conference game like this right off the bat if it was his preference. But he understands that sort of comes with the territory when you have this new network coming up and this TV deal that gives so many millions of dollars to the program. You just have to kind of do what the TV networks want at times. So, I think if he was running things, he would not have this game right off the bat. Certainly, with a young team like they're going to have this year, it'd be a lot easier to sort of, wade into the water rather than jump in as a cannonball to start the season. But, I think he's realistic about what this team is in terms of how excited he is about it. I think the youth kind of energizes him because, you're around guys that haven't really done it before. There's so many unknowns. There's sort of an electricity to things like that. But at the same time, I think you get to right before the season, you go, oh, man, 14 of the 23 guys on our depth chart are sophomores or younger. 33 of the 49 guys listed on the depth chart are too deep. Our sophomores are younger, and it kind of hits you that, this is a really young team. So I think that realization has certainly set in for him here as the season nears.
Yeah, and it's in a weird place to be because, I would say you'd have to classify his first two seasons there in Blacksburg as a success and obviously a step forward. And Virginia Tech is thought to be a player every year out of the Coastal and a team you expect to see frequently in the ACC championship game. I wonder, what are fans' expectations? You talk about two really good seasons in his first 2 years and then maybe having to take, at least early in the season, perhaps, we'll see how it plays out, a step back because of that youth.
I think there's an understanding from a lot of fans that this is a young roster and it might be a step back. That said, there's sort of an expectation of 10 wins here at Virginia Tech. I mean, That's been the standard for a while. Frank Beamer set that as the standard. So anything short of that, even in a year where, you're building toward the future, I think people will look at that and go, that's a little disappointing, especially if they're not there right at the end in the Coastal Division. I think if they're right there with Miami and they don't win 10 games, but they can, win the division or compete for the division title, I think that'll satisfy a lot of fans that are out there. But, overall, I think they like to see that double-digit wins at the end of the year, and they don't really cut coaches too much slack, even if it is a strange year in terms of roster turnover.
Talking to Andy Bitter of The Athletic. He covers Virginia Tech, and he joins us now on the Jeff Cameron Show. I came away very impressed after talking to Josh Jackson. Looking at it from afar, we all were reading the reports of the summer, and it was a tough summer for the folks in Blacksburg watching one guy after the next have to leave for various reasons, in particular on that defense. But at one time, it looked like Josh Jackson might be a casualty of the summer as well. He strikes me as a confident, smart kid. What was going on with that situation, and what had to be resolved there, if you're at liberty to say?
From what I understand, it wasn't like a grades situation or anything. I think it might have been a question of whether somebody else had copied what his work was and turned it in, and that just sort of had to be cleared up. I think it was a situation where he was either going to be cleared of the thing or he was going to be found guilty of whatever it was, and if he was guilty, he wouldn't be here right now. So the fact that he was cleared of it, I think helps, his whole sort of outlook here. It sounds like he was kind of an innocent party in this whole thing, and it got blown up into a big public thing. But I think the Hokies are excited about him in this year coming up. Maybe some fans aren't quite as much as the coaching staff, and I think they look at the way that Jackson finished the end of last year, kind of struggled down the stretch, as the team did. I mean, it wasn't just him. There were a lot of injuries. They played a tougher schedule at that point, and that kind of caught up to them. I think people are looking at that and then forgetting about the first 7, 8, 9 games that he played, where he played really well. So yeah, I think he's a sophomore now. He's more experienced. He's got a little more help around him on the offense. I mean, he's not a 6'5" guy. He's not a guy that's going to run a 4.2 40 or anything like that. But he's a very heady, smart quarterback who works within the confines of the system. And if he can just make some more of those routine plays this year and hit the throws that he is capable of throwing, I think this offense can be much improved.
Yeah, Coach Fuente saying that was really the problem, that basically at the end of the year he needed more help than he got, and he had to have grown from it. He's been in big-time atmospheres. He made me laugh. He said that he couldn't wait to play in the game at Doak Campbell because he loves traditions and he loves to see entries, and he's hoping that they have a chance to be out there when the pregame ceremonies take place, because he loved it. I thought it was a great attitude to have when you're getting ready to go on the road in a big game like that. What's his greatest attribute in your mind?
I think it's his poise. I think he's got a really good understanding of the game. You know, Fuente kind of challenged him in the offseason to get in the film room even a little bit more, and I think Josh has taken that challenge head on and has been much better about doing that and doing it at the facility. I mean, he kind of always did it at home, but being around and showing guys that he's there, putting in the extra work, I think that helps, especially for a guy that has a high football IQ. But he's kind of just a really laid-back guy. I mean, his first start was in front of 70,000 people or however many it was at FedEx Field last year against West Virginia. I mean, that's a pretty big rivalry game for the Hokies on a big stage like that, and he played great. He had close to 100 yards rushing, threw for a touchdown. I forget the exact passing yards that he had, but he was really efficient throwing the ball, ran the ball effectively. It did not look like a guy who was making his very first start in college, and it doesn't seem like he really is affected by the ups and downs of the team. He's sort of the same guy when he talks to us all the time. I think he's the same guy on the field. Doesn't get too emotional with stuff. And, Fuente is kind of like that too. So I think Fuente sees sort of a, kindred spirit in that sense in his quarterback. And that's always a big thing when the head coach is so heavily involved with the quarterbacks.
We're talking with Andy Bitter of The Athletic, covering Virginia Tech. Joins us now on the Jeff Cameron Show. You wrote a piece recently in The Athletic. Folks should go and read it. It's called "It's Time for Virginia Tech's Quiet Running Game to Start Making Noise Again." Give me a big picture there. I want to get to the defense in a second because of the question marks in the youth, but does it look like Virginia Tech's going to get back to that running game and make some noise?
Possibly. It's kind of a work in progress. I mean, they have a couple guys that can do some things. I think you saw at the end of last year when Stephen Peoples was healthy and Deshaun McClease was sort of breaking out a little bit, that they had a lot of capabilities out there. They ran the ball really well against Virginia. They ran it very well against Oklahoma State, I think 250-some yards, but that had sort of been lacking all year. These guys aren't sort of superstar, workhorse type backs, but combined, I think they can do enough for this running game to take a step forward. And it's been a really bad running game for, essentially the last 6 years in Blacksburg, which is very strange for a program that has the running back legacy that Virginia Tech does. I don't think it's one of these 1,000-yard back situations, but Fuente's never really had that. As an offensive coordinator or head coach, he likes to get a lot of guys involved. Peoples is more of a power guy. Deshaun McClease more of a shifty type guy. With an improved offensive line this year, I think it could be a step forward. And it doesn't need to be a huge step forward for this offense to improve just because the running game has been so bad in the past couple of years.
Yeah, and as you alluded to in the aforementioned story, it's probably going to shock Florida State fans to hear this, but only once in the past 6 seasons has Virginia Tech topped over 4 yards per carry. That's surprising, and it was barely at that, and that was in 2016. So obviously, in reading that piece, I recognized coaching staff and Cornelison talking about the need to do that as well. Defensively, we kept hearing about one guy after the next that left for a variety of reasons and how young this team is. Of course, everybody knows what a great coach Bud Foster is. Talk to me about this defense. What is their greatest concern coming into this game, and what would you say is probably the strength of that defense?
The concern is youth. Ricky Walker is the only senior starter on this team. All the linebackers are sophomores, I believe, maybe a junior there at the whip linebacker spot. 2 cornerbacks who are true sophomore, or a sophomore and a redshirt freshman who have never really played significant snaps at the quarterback position. All the linebackers are essentially brand new. They played on special teams in the past, but haven't really done anything on a big stage on the regular defense. So you lose that many guys, you sit there and you go, man, who is going to be the sort of veteran presence on this whole team? And I think the strength is probably up front, and that's because of Ricky Walker. He's the one experienced guy on the interior at defensive tackle. You got Trayvon Hill, who's done it at defensive end for a couple of years. Houshun Gaines stepped into a bigger role last year. Vinny Mahota's not quite healthy, or not quite 100%.
I was just about to ask you that.
Last year.
Yeah, that's a big
And
dude.
he's coming back from that. He's not going to start. They're hoping to get maybe 10 to 15 snaps out of him. But, Jarrett Hewitt stepping into his place. I think the defensive line can cause some problems, especially against a Florida State offensive line that, as you know, has not exactly been a strength down there the last couple of years. I think if that defensive line can be disruptive and wreak some havoc, that might make up for some of the inexperience at other spots of the defense.
Yeah, Andy, I think it's a fun question, right? I think it hangs over this game. If you're a Florida State fan, you're wondering how that offensive line holds up. It hasn't been a strength, as you correctly alluded to. And if you're Virginia Tech, you worry about maybe a lack of depth at the defensive line because of the tempo that Florida State's going to play, especially if Mahota's only going to play in 10 to 15 snaps.
Yeah, the tempo, I think, is a concern because of that depth. I will say that, Virginia Tech runs with pretty good tempo in its offense.
Sure.
So it's not like it's something they haven't seen before. I think in the past that was always a concern with Virginia Tech because they played so slow offensively, and they really had sort of that old-style scheme where it's a huddle, and they line up, and they run the ball and everything. But, since Fuente has gotten here, it's been go, go, go on offense, or at least they have that capability. So, I think that's at least something that the defense will be prepared for.
Talk to me about the young corners. Obviously, they're going to be talented. They're at Virginia Tech, but I think that's an area that I've heard a lot of Virginia Tech fans kind of chime in and reach out and talking about this game and say they're a little concerned about the youth at corner.
Yeah, Bryce Watts was a guy who played pretty much on special teams last year. I mean, he was a track guy in high school. The other one, Caleb Farley, is an interesting one. He came here, started out as a cornerback, moved to receiver at the end of spring of his first year and really starred in the spring game in 2017. Yeah, gets into August and injures his knee on the first practice of August and misses the entire season. Then with all the attrition they had and the guys leaving for the NFL in the offseason, he moves back to cornerback. So he's back to the position he started at.
Yeah.
He's been here a year and a half and hasn't played in a game, but they have really high hopes for him. He's probably the fastest guy on the team. I think he's 6'2", close to 200 pounds, so he's a bigger type cornerback. It might take some time for him to sort of develop into that spot, but I think he has the ability to be something special there over the long haul. It's interesting, that spot at cornerback, though, because Bud Foster asks his cornerbacks to do a lot, and they put him on an island all the time. They have them out there one-on-one coverage, and I don't really think they change that too much, even with how young it is out there. So those guys are going to have to sink or swim out there on their own, and I think that's where some of the concern comes from some of the fans watching this, is how are these guys who have never played in big spots before going to hold up at those cornerback spots?
Andy, final thing here. How has practice gone in the lead up to game week? What are people around the program telling you?
Shoot, I don't know. We haven't seen any practice.
Wow.
We haven't seen any practice. We haven't seen any practice since like August 6th. We had media day on Sunday, and we don't talk to anybody for the rest of the week. That's how sort of disconnected we are from the program. With
what in the world?
Fuente is very likes to play things close to the vest. He's very tight with media access. He coached for Gary Patterson. Gary Patterson was very much the same way.
Have you been able?
So it's tough to tell.
I'm sorry. I'm just curious. Have you been able to talk to anybody around the program that was willing to kind of give you a feel for how it's gone, or?
You hear the same things, that it's a young, eager group, but I don't think anybody really knows how these guys are going to do until they get on the field, and that's the big unknown about this team. Is you can look good at practice in your own practice facility and going up against a defense or an offense that you've seen for an entire month. But how are you going to do in a stadium of 80,000 where they're all cheering against you? Noise becomes an issue on offense when you're trying to communicate. You're trying to keep pace with a new offense on the other side of Florida State. When you're on defense, I just think that anybody that sits here and claims to know what they're going to see out of this team this year, I think is lying through his teeth, because there's just so many unknowns.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Andy, and safe travels, sir. Enjoy it, and it was good talking to you. I'll talk to you again down the line, and thanks so much for your time.
All right, sounds good.
All right, appreciate it. That's Andy Bitter of The Athletic, covering Virginia Tech, joining us on the Jeff Cameron Show, trying to get a feel for those around the program and those covering the program. But, it's interesting when you gain access like we've had at practice in the weeks that have followed the start of camp here at Florida State, it just takes one interview like that to be reminded of the way things were, where they don't have that sort of access, and to then smile and say, good times are here again.
Really fascinating that Andy would posit that the defensive backs are going to be left on islands. Goes back to our discussion yesterday.
Yeah, again, if that's what you're going to do, it is imperative that Florida State's big, athletic, shifty, fast wide receivers make plays. They're going to get chances. This offense is built around one-on-one matchups. It's about getting kids in space and situations to make somebody miss and make a play. It's not about the complexity of scheme. It's, I'm going to get you the ball in a hurry, make somebody miss and do something, to use Willie's phrase. And, oh, by the way, we got guys that can. I mean, that should be music to Florida State fans' ears. It was to mine, to hear that there's going to be a lot of one-on-one matchups. You want one-on-one matchups with Tamorrion Terry, Daquan Murray, and those guys?
Sure. Quick bubble, make one guy miss. There's no safety help, really, because what? You're going to attack the line of scrimmage and go after the offensive line? It's different now. If it was Jimbo's offense, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think it's fascinating. We'll come back. We'll talk about what we just heard a moment ago. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Neese Tire and Auto Service. Neese has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Neese Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Neese Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Blowers, and even compressors. Cornerstone has the largest DeWalt selection in Tallahassee. 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until noon.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting event? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Just how good does a Sport Clips Championship haircut experience make you feel? Like your hair has its own walk-up music. No matter what kind of guy you are. Maybe you play sports. Maybe you play sports online. Or maybe your sport is keeping up with your kids. You want hair so good it deserves its own walk-up music. And at Sport Clips, we make it easy. Just check in online, choose your stylist, and head to Sport Clips. You'll get a game-changing cut from a stylist trained for guys. Go big with the MVP experience and get recharged with a massaging shampoo and their legendary hot steamed towel. They'll always finish strong by styling your hair just right, tightening up that beard, and getting you on your way. Hair this good needs no introduction, but you'll want one anyway. Appointment-free championship haircuts for men and boys surrounded by what you know and love, sports. So get in line online today at sportclips.com/check-in and get your hair in the game.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. It's the Labor Day sale at Ace, which means it's the perfect time to buy a grill from our exclusive lineup of premium brands, including Weber, Traeger, and more. Right now, get the right grill at the right price delivered right to your door. Now through Labor Day, hurry in and save $50 on select Weber Spirit grills. Plus, get free assembly and delivery on any grill $3.99 and up, only at Ace. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members only through September 3rd. Store stock only. See participating store for scheduling and details.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Open it up. I want to remind you, though, to go to GameDayExcursions.com today and do what Tom and I have already done and join us in South Bend for the big game November the 10th. That's a road trip you don't want to miss. A bottomless mimosa Bloody Mary morning gets the day underway, if you will, the welcome reception, and then a premium bus transportation to from Chicago to South Bend. Exclusive tailgate party steps away from the stadium, friends. Game Day Excursions. That's where you want to go, GameDayExcursions.com. They have a hotel block exclusively for you, the Knoll fan. That's right. Rates are just $189. That's $189 a night at the W Hotel Lakeshore. Beautiful place. Be sure and use the promo code JCS at checkout to get $10 off your order. That's promo code JCS at GameDayExcursions.com.
Moreover, it's $10 off each ticket, so if you want to bring your friends, $10, $10.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, I like that interview. It sounded like Virginia Tech has got some problems, Tom. I'm going to react to that interview by telling you I feel good. I do. Everything that's come out this summer, everything that's happened within this program and what has happened within the Hokie program portends of a good outcome on Monday night. Doesn't mean it'll happen. Kids make mistakes, nerves, whatever else. But if you told me, hey, look, man, which situation would you rather be in? It's ours. I mean, there's no way around that. I think Hokie fans would tell you that. There's no doubt. This is not an ideal set of circumstances for Virginia Tech. And when you've got a lack of depth on the defensive line, you got a lack of experience in the secondary, you got guys playing, in a couple of cases, kind of out of position, man, I feel good.
And if you have confidence in 12, and he's shown up in big moments before, if you think he's going to be much like that in the poise department, I'll use Andy Bitter's word there. But DeAndre doesn't buckle under pressure either. And so he's been in plenty of big atmospheres himself, pressure-packed moments, and he's delivered in those. The last of which really in Doak Campbell would have been that Florida game that we blew the tires off of Florida back in 2016. He's ready for prime time at Doak. And if he's not going to turn the ball over, you're in really, really good shape here. Come get me kind of stuff.
I feel good. I'm excited. I can't wait. I wish this rest of the week was over. I'm ready to go. Front Row Knowles is coming up. Before I get to him real quick, let's get to probables. I'll talk to you about Front Row Knowles once again in a moment.
It's
Miami,
time for,
Boston.
how you say, with the pitching, probables?
That's me. I was just trampling all over the sounder. I'm so excited. Not about Miami and Boston, but about our game on Monday night. The Marlins and the Red Sox, Trevor Richards and David Price. We got the White Sox and the Yankees. Reynaldo Lopez on the hill for the White Sox. CeCe Sabathia for the Yanks. We got the Blue Jays and the Orioles, Ryan Barucki and Alex Cobb. Nationals, Phillies, Gio Gonzalez, Jake Arrieta. Brewers, Reds, Freddie Peralta, Matt Harvey. We got the Twins and the Indians, Cole Stewart, Adam Putko. Rays, Braves, I remember David Castillo well. I see him about town here on occasion.
Dr. Castillo?
Dr. Castillo lives over in Southwood. I see him occasionally when I go over there.
Yeah, I did a feature or two with him back in the day.
Good guy. Diego Castillo is pitching for the Rays, however. Not David. Sean Newcomb will go for the Braves. We've got the Dodgers and the Rangers. That's Alex Wood, Mike Minor. Pirates, Cards. Pirates predictably lost last night. They'll lose again tonight. Trevor Williams goes for the Pirates, and Tom's favorite pitcher, Miles Mikolas.
Yes.
D-backs, Giants, Zach Godley, and Derek Rodriguez. And that's a look at those that shall reside on the bump.
The world was new.
We had a physics professor ask about the show the other day. Not our favorite physics professor.
Okay, yeah.
But another one who was reaching out to that one to say, hey, are you going to go to the event? I thought, man, we're down.
Going to the big event?
Yeah, how great is that?
Well, our favorite one referred me to a textbook and then a book that I've gotten halfway through on the book and nowhere near in the textbook.
The textbook you're not going to get to. The book is great. Don't read the textbook.
I will, but it's football season now. It's going to be like January before I can hit that.
You can just hand it back to him and say, you did a fine job editing this book, sir.
He did. I'm sure
Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great night. Front Row Knowles next. Stay tuned.